Are you still there? Can you hear me? Give me a. You can hear me now? Okay, there we go. I don't know why. That was really weird. Okay. You hear me good? All right. Give me one sec. I got to I had to pull it up on my computer. I hear it on my computer, but I had to make sure that it was working. Not much. It has been crazy busy, and I don't know uh, how many people understand as much, but if you think about it, it's still a little chilly too. With spring break, the kids being on spring break, then right away Easter break, it was hectic. So, oh, why? What happened? What happened yesterday? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Super sorry to hear that. I'm sorry for your loss. Just try and think of all the good memories, though. That's one thing we always forget to do. And I know sometimes when we're sad in the immediate, when we give ourselves those moments, we can really think of all the good memories and all the good times. And that's how we make sure we can show up like we do, right? I missed you too. I know. I've been dying to get on here. I'm going to be on pretty much all week. I have workshops all week. I still have to do my monthly things. It's been crazy with all that extra. I want to say free time, but it was free time with my kiddo, and I know it gets really, really hectic. No, I haven't made any. I've been my kind of art that I've made right now is I made my 4-part workshop series. I made my free workshop. There's a link, I think, in my bio, so you can always go to that. It's on the 16th at 10 a.m. That one, it's just talking about getting unstuck. I created a 6-part business program, and I also created what was the other thing I created? I don't even remember now. There's so much stuff I created. Oh, the my group sessions for getting yourselves unstuck, personal empowerment, emotional awareness, ways that we can show up for ourselves. So I'm working on trolls. I saw that. I saw that. Then I have an operation, like a surgery. When do you have a surgery? When is it? I'll make sure I send out some extra prayers for strength and healing and all that good stuff. Make sure you take that extra time for yourself because that really does matter. I hope it's not a really serious one. Leo Fenk? Fennick? How do you say your name? Hi, I subscribe. Can I have a shout out? You absolutely can have a shout out. You didn't even have to subscribe. Just coming in saying hello. I love to say hi. I hope you're doing really well. And thank you for subscribing. There's lots of good stuff there. Two-way. What does that mean? I don't remember the exact date, but they have to do surgery on my kidneys. Phoenix, I love Phoenix. Arizona? um, I don't remember the exact date, but they have to do surgery on my kidney. So you're gonna be oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So when you go in, uh if you can remember, just send me even just a little message before you go in so I can send out some extra prayers. And I'll be sending out prayers now. And um, just make sure you're healing as much as possible, getting all that rest. And sometimes healing doesn't mean coming on here either. If healing means sleeping, you keep your butt sleeping. Don't try to feel pushed to do anything. Do what you can when you can. Relaxing is the most important. Do I have an email? Yeah, it should be on my thing. But if you, Tiffany, Tiffany at creativelyguided.ca. You see, it's creatively guided and then just .ca. Just put my name at first and then the at sign. Uh, it's just to my website. Or just go to my website, creativelyguided.ca. There's every way you could possibly contact me on there. There's all the information you could ever want. There's lots of healing stuff, lots of ways for self care. It takes you to all my videos and stuff. Make sure you're watching the resting ones, the relaxing ones. And you know who else has a lot of? And I didn't know he had as many really, really relaxing ones as Fairbrick Studio. You should go check it out. Yeah, I really love that. I appreciate that, and I think it's really nice to do that. And I also learned a lot of things this weekend. So the way I was giving support to people, I was trying to spread it out to give everybody a little bit, but I was focused on a lot of people that aren't even monetized yet. I'm not monetized either. So, but I didn't realize that once you're monetized, you have a certain threshold too. So I thought I was doing oh, hi, Fabrics. I was just talking about you. Were your ears ringing? I was just talking about because I thought that the people that kind of had monetization were they were already good to go. So the way I was setting my thought process and how I supported was focus on the ones that need monetization first. So it was never like I was trying to be helpful. I was just not, I didn't know that thresholds. I still don't even understand it yet completely because I have a ways to go. But I just didn't, and I was just telling her because she was talking about relaxing stuff. Uh, she needs to relax after surgery. I said you should go check out your channel because you have a lot of really great music for that. Uh, but yeah, we were talking about that. I learned a lot and I didn't understand because the thing is, when you're new, you think you're helping, but sometimes, you could help in a more efficient, better way. So now that I kind of understand working on your new art logo. I love that. And it's no problem. Now that I understand kind of a little more how it works, I know how to do it. Well, I think I know how to do it better. Uh, I don't know all the ways, but trial and error. I try to take suggestions, but also I want to be fair and I really do want to spread it out. So I've committed during my workday. I cannot. I have to focus. But the rest of the time, I can run something in the background. The problem is when I run your music in the background, I'm like, it's a good thing. It really is. But uh, I got to save it for nighttime because at nighttime, it's nice because I can fall asleep to it. And it really is nice. So now that I'm back in business, I had to take a little bit of time off. It was the spring break and then Easter holiday. Miss Grace was wild and it was too hard to stay crazy. Nick Gamer, hello, good morning. Yeah, Fairbricks would love that. And you know what? Fairbricks does a lot of shout outs too. Alzoo22. I like it. Hello, good morning. Sorry, I had to scroll up. I didn't want to miss you guys. Um, Slow and steady. I'm getting back in here. This is going to be episode, I think it's 5. I don't want to lie. I'm pretty sure it's 5 from the Alchemy of Motion. And if you, to give the basic understanding of it, is um, this is the pull it all together. So when I did the other 3 series, I did the fire and flow, and that's peeling it back, understanding. YouTube, what is that? Is that the link? See, I'm so not good at that stuff. I'm still learning to figure it out. Oh yeah, it's the link to her channel, right? Yes. Okay. I'm very slow at this. I think every time I think I'm learning things, I go and I'm like, oh, I get it, and then everyone knows so much more than me. So I've just I've come to the conclusion I'm okay with being a noob, and the learning curves we figure it out as we go. We do the best we can with what we got, and I'm getting to the point where I don't feel guilty anymore. I'm doing what I can when I can. Uh, and I really like to be present as much as possible. But also, I want to be helpful for those that just want watch hours too. So I'm trying to find that balance. We're getting there. And then I'm also trying to find the balance of my own life because I have so much that I want to get out there. I have my workshop. Um, it will be running, I think, every once a month for now, while I'm filling up my group sessions and my one-on-one sessions, and also um, but the free workshop, it's just like helping you get unstuck the same way that I come on and have these conversations. um, the idea is that I'm helping you critically think, because when you kind of, when people say, oh, just manifest what you want, and then you're like, I want $1 million, and how come I haven't got it yet, and the question is, it's not that you want $1 million. What would you do with that $1 million? What would make it so grateful for you? Make it so joyful for you? What would you do with it? How would you help? Um, those kind of questions. When you kind of get clear with it, it's a lot easier to manifest things when there's a clear reason and there's an emotion behind it. And then it's about actually taking whatever steps you possibly can that you know how to do to get there. And my job is to kind of help you figure out what it is. Yeah, art ideas too. I could use your help with art logo ideas. Uh, I can help with any of those things. So that you should sign up for my workshop then. I don't know when you go for your surgery, so only if it's before your surgery though. Don't do it after. I don't want you trying to fight and heal. But it's on the 16th of April, but then there'll be another one the next month. So if you miss it, don't worry. But if you sign up there, it's about helping you bring your ideas to fruition, understanding the next steps. And sometimes they're so simple and right there in your face that you forget what it is. So like you kind of go, oh, well, that's the easy part, and you disregard it. And what happens when you disregard it, that little easy part, if you took that one step easy part, it leads you to your next one. So the idea is that you take these little baby steps and you're celebrating each and every one, because when you do, it's easier to take them there. You're doing great with the art ideas. You have new art every single day. I actually have a painting that I want to paint here hopefully this week, but I'm playing catch up, so it might not be till next week because I got to get my schedule back. I created all this content to give me a little bit of space, and then what I did with that space was spend time with my kid. But she did get some appointments, and we got made some headway in some of the stuff that I've been really trying to do. So um, even though it doesn't always show here, trust me, there's always something going on in the background. I don't think I ever know how to really sit still because it's just me. So it's got to get done, right? So yeah, if your surgery is not before the 16th, go sign up for it. It's free. There's no cost. Um, Anything unless I specifically tell you what the price is or what the cost is. You'll always know what it is. I never sneak anything up. It's very very clear what's going to happen. I'm going to give you another beautiful shout out. Thank you so much. They might keep me overnight. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's after your surgery, don't do it. But if it's before, sign up for it. Show up. It's just about helping you get up unstuck, think critically, be a little more self-aware. It can be really beneficial. I'm also starting the group sessions, which is the same thing, which is self awareness, personal accountability, all those things that really help us uh, take those next steps. My Group counseling is the limit with 12 in one group. It's a 3 month, 12-week series, and it's $555, which is very, very underpriced. But I did it that way because 555 is transformation, it's clarity, and um, I can help more people at once where we can really actually create change. So that one is a big one. And that's not starting until June 22nd. So there's lots of time to sign up. There'll be ads going out and lots of talk about it. But uh, it is going to be up there. It's already created, it's ready to go. It's on my website. So I'm pretty excited. Love you, Tiff. You really inspire me. You're too sweet. You really are too good to me. Um, that's all I hope to do is inspire a little bit of change, a little bit of joy, and a little bit of happiness in people's lives. Grant, hello, good morning. Helen, good morning. Welcome. I'm glad y'all showed up. I've been here kind of just chit chatting away, uh, which is good. In the morning, I like to come on. It's been a while. My daughter was on spring break, and then we had some doctor's appointments. And then it just was Easter. I finally just I stopped punishing myself and like you got to get it done because this is supposed to be my fun, my joy, and I truly do enjoy it. But it was getting really chaotic with Grace, which I'm gonna have to get used to too because summer's coming, right? So I finally got you live. I'm so glad that you got to come. I did an autism. Oh, I will watch the replay. Absolutely. I have notifications on for you. I don't know why I didn't get it. She finally, did I tell you that she finally got into the pediatrician and they have referred her for the ICANN assessment. However, it could be up to 2 years. Um, and I'm like, well, we can't wait 2 years. Well, we have to wait 2 years, but we can't wait 2 years. We need to be started looking at pathways, things that we can do to make changes. Um, but she has come a long way. She's getting better and better every day, and she's getting more and more confident, which is exciting. We artists matter so much to this world. You know, 1000%. I'm never going to disagree with that. But I think we all matter in this world. Uh, you have to look at things like, so it's not, there are people that do their little small things. You might think, oh, it's just a janitor, they just mop the floors. But I guarantee you, there's people out there that are janitors that mop those floors, and they're gonna do it like it's like they're mopping for the king, right? It's how people show up and do their job, and those silent people that sometimes don't always get seen for what they do, they show up every day, and they show up with kindness and compassion and joy. So when I tell you, we all matter in the world, every single one of us, there's a lesson for all of us. I was privileged to have a taste of the tea. Oh, you got to try it? You like it? Did you try the gratitude tea? I'm so stoked. It's finally starting to get out there. People are starting to order. I can ship to Canada and US. Things are starting to move. And for me, it's like um, that tea matters to me. That's the ritual. That's the moment of presence, the moment to say, I'm so grateful that I have this moment of peace, this moment of gratitude, right? Be thankful for the small little things in life. Uh, and I talk about it, the things that I talk about like this, uh, I talk about it so passionately because it took me 42 years to get here. I was always trying to get there, but there's a pattern, and until you understand your own patterns, it kind of it takes away, right? It doesn't give you the, oh, you did the apple cinnamon too. Yeah, I really love that. I'm really proud of my teas. And they're so layered. Just like everything that I talk about is layered. The reason that I do that, those teas saved my life. Making them, creating them, taking fruits that were, a little beat up, a little bruised, on the reduced, that like they didn't matter, like price knocked down, and I took them, and they taught me my worth, right? As I'm cleaning them and loving them the way they needed to be loved, and cutting them up and dehydrating them like they each have their own story. And I was telling them, you still have value, you still matter. Like there's a story inside the story always. And in doing that, it was cathartic. It helped me settle my dysregulated nervous system. It reminded me over and over that I still had value, and it kept me showing up. So when I tell you the little ritual that goes with the tea, the love and the care that went into it, when people tell me they enjoy it, I don't think you understand how that makes my heart so happy. Yeah, we all matter. A lot of people don't realize how much time artists take time to do these amazing artwork. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. Yeah, everything takes time, and when we put time into it, we really create a space where we feel like we have to. Just like what I was explaining with missing over spring break and all that. It was like, yeah, I love to do this and I want to come do this, but I also have a daughter, and I want to spend time with her, and I don't want to feel rushed, and I don't want to feel like I'm doing something wrong or that I'm choosing one or the other, right? We're learning to find the balance, and we are working through it, but at the same time, you don't get a lot of those time with your child. And now that I got the outside we got the outdoor play set and all that set up. Being able to be out there and play with her and watch her be so much more confident was uh, worth everything. I would miss anything in the world to not miss that. So, the way we kind of, when we look at those things, we always have, there's time, but how much of it do we want to give and where to is what matters. Our art shines most when we put our whole heart into it. Everything shines most when we put our whole heart into it. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. When we, no matter what we do, so when I come on here, I give 100%. You get every bit of my joy, my grace, my love, my strength. Um, I don't ever come on here when I'm drained. If I don't feel like I have the capacity, if I feel like I'm going to be short or impatient with other people, because we all have those days, right? And when that's being accountable all in itself, right? When we understand that I only have the capacity today to hang out with my kid, I only have the capacity to sweep my floors. I'm not mopping them today. I'm tired. I don't feel good. Whatever, right? Understanding that and taking one small thing at a time. And then there's days where you're getting so much done and you're like, okay, I can't do this. I can't come on and do this, but I have this work to do, this. So I can take 20 other tasks and accomplish them. So understanding what time you want to give to what, it's all a form of accountability. And it all brings us back to the same thing. When we do those check ins with ourselves and understand the capacity that we have, we create that space. So that's going to bring me into this a little bit, which is the light through the cracks. And the reason I did these as the first 10-part series, um, because each one has its own little nuance. And if you can understand the nuance and see what that's trying to teach you, uh, you really can create space. There's this space that comes through that doesn't like allow you to feel fear, right? Rudy, good morning. Yeah, it's only 10:24, so it's probably still morning everywhere else. I'm usually 3 hours behind. How are you? Welcome. We are just about to start episode 5 of The Light Through the Cracks, which is our alchemy emotion. So the other ones that I talked about was peeling it back, understanding what the information each emotion was teaching you. And then it was the grace in the grind was teaching you how to give yourself grace and understand that to give others compassion, we have to first give it to ourselves. Otherwise, we're giving that compassion and it turns into resentment and all these other things uh, because we're not filling our own cup first. And then there was accountability, and that was the one where we learned what the next best step is. So now here we are back again in the alchemy of motion, and this is where we pull it all together and very clearly understand how each step when we take those moments, we learn how to pause. Sometimes we got to pivot, but for the most times, it's pause. We don't have to self sabotage. We don't have to fall back and keep trying to do it over and over. Start back at zero. We get to start from a solid foundation and our experience, which isn't clawing in the mud, which isn't trying to climb back up every time we lose everything over and over again. We've built that solid foundation. Now, no matter where we go, even if we have to pause, we keep learning from experience. Our foundation just gets taller and taller and taller. So we keep climbing up that mountain. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do is teach everybody. It was 27, as I said that. And that's just understanding that there's balance in everything we do. And when we can find that balance within ourselves, uh, we start to trust ourselves. So when we do make those pauses, we're not pausing because we're mad. We're pausing because we feel anger, but we instead of trying to push it back, choke it back, or feel bad for it, we're going, why do I feel anger about that? Because I know that it's telling me something. So now you're pausing to understand I have a right, yes, to be angry, but I need to know why I'm angry, right? Because we can just be angry, and if we don't know why we're angry, then we have no power to do anything. But when we start to understand what that emotion is and what it's telling us, now we know what we need to change, right? And it doesn't mean we have to change, um, but it does mean that something has to change, right? And maybe it's putting up a boundary to someone else. Maybe it's making more time for yourself. Maybe it's saying, okay, I feel this feeling coming up, and it could be from something from a long time ago, but we need to start walking this back. Maybe I can't do that all today, but I know what it is. And now you're starting to take actions to figure out what that is. You're starting to see your patterns, you're starting to understand that. And when you can start seeing and understanding those patterns, you can change them. Uh, you can be accountable. You can celebrate yourself because you don't ever have to get to that explosion, that place where you react, or because you've pushed it down too far. You get to that place where you stop before that, and it just gets earlier and easier each time. And that's really what I want to teach people. I want to see you pause. I want to see you stop for a moment, uh, and not have to claw your way back up from the ditches, from the trenches. So that's kind of what this is about. So now, if you want to understand and really break it down to each one, you can go back to my other series. I have the Fire and Flow series, the Grace and the Grind, and the Accountability one. So if there's something that maybe you feel stuck on, you can always go back and watch them. They break it down really, really well. But otherwise, this one is the light through the cracks. So in the first one, not the first one, the last one was the kindness that breaks you open. So when we talk about it a little bit, people are like, what? That makes no sense. And for some people, it may never make sense because they've had kindness, they've had that compassion, they've had all of those good things in life. There are many, many people that have had to be hyper independent, that have been betrayed their whole lives, have had people say that they were going to care about them. And it's not saying that even that they meant to, but we have to understand hurt people hurt people. So uh, until we fix those hurts, we're gonna always hurt somebody else, not on purpose, right? But it does happen. And when you start to look at that, um, it becomes a little easier to forgive those people. That doesn't mean we allow them to continue to hurt us. What it does mean is that we allow compassion and understanding to help explain to ourselves and help us stop doing it, right? And sometimes set boundaries to be away from those people that are doing it until they can learn. And if they can't learn, that's not something we can't force them. Okay, I can, like, when I come on here and I give this information and I do this for the people that are willing to listen, the people that want to hear. I'm not going to go into your house, knock on your door, and say you must listen to me and you need to change, right? But I will always give the information, and you can decide if it's worth it or not for you to hear. So when we start to understand that, I had to learn that, right? That's called setting a boundary, right? Forcing somebody or dragging a horse to water, you still can't make them drink. And when we learn and really understand what that means, we create space for ourselves. And then when there's this kindness that comes in and you've had to do everything yourself, and every single person uh, has betrayed you in some way, shape, or form, And then some, usually almost always, some stranger comes out of nowhere and they give you this kindness and compassion, uh, and it just rips your whole soul open. The way it cracks you open, the way it makes you feel helpless, the way it makes you want to push it away, fight it away. Um, it's such a deep, deep thing. And you know what happens most times? People self sabotage. They run, they push it away, they fight it, they test the boundaries. They say, "Well, I don't believe you're going to stick by me through thick and thin, so I'm going to just beat you up." And whether it's physically, mentally, verbally, there's so many other ways. I'm going to push it away. I'm going to abuse it. I'm going to do other things because I need to test and see. And that's called self sabotage. And what you do is cause damage to the other person on the other side, even though you're not intending to do that. You're just you can't trust it, right? And that's when we get to that space and when it cracks you open, it's hard because it's scary. And you know, you can talk about all the trauma you've been through all your life, like it's nothing because you're used to it. Uh, but then someone's kind to you and it just burns your whole heart out. You can barely speak it without tears coming down your face. And I've been through this. When I tell you that when we talk about these things, I wouldn't tell you these things if I had no idea. I've walked through this fire 10,000 times. I'm a professional in more ways than one. KDP, welcome. Good morning. We're talking about the light through the cracks, which is like the next one after the kindness that breaks you open. And the idea is this is the part in that kindness that breaks you open that what makes you want to self sabotage. It's what makes you want to say, no, I can't do this. This is makes me too vulnerable and it's scary. I'm doing really great today. How are you? I'm from Canada. And how about you? Where are you from? So I'm having my coffee. Rakes. What, that behind you in those shelves? What shelves? I don't know what shelves. Oh, shelves. Are you talking about the shelves? This? That's my work area. I love Canada too. I do. Um, yeah, that's my work area. I've been reorganizing the house. I have my art I create. I have my teas I create. I have my alignment bundles, my dry erase board. That is my work area, and it gets very chaotic sometimes. Sometimes it's beautiful and organized, but let's be honest, not very often. Because when I get over there, uh, get working too hard, I drive myself crazy. I'm an ebook ghostwriter, book editor, book formatter. Wow, I love that. That's a lot of titles, and that's really fantastic. I actually, I have an ebook, a small one. I wrote it, and I have a guided journal on my website. If you go to creativelyguided.ca, um, they're there. I have two. Mine is a reflection writing, and my 60 days of I am in gratitude is a guided journal. But it really does help create change. It's okay to be nervous for the operation. That stuff's scary. I'm a full grown adult, and let me tell you, um, aside from having a baby and having a few stitches in my face and stuff, I've never had a surgery. So when I tell you I'm not, um, I can't be like, oh, it's not a big deal. I would be terrified too. So I'm currently writing an autobiography for a friend in Canada. That's fantastic. I need to write an autobiography. And I actually thought about it. The only struggle I have is I don't want to trauma dump. So, and because if I'm ever going to write my story and actually talk about the things that I have been through, there's a lot. And it has to be a story of overcoming. It can't be focused on the trauma. It's got to be just enough trauma to uh, see that it is overcomable. But I refuse to trauma dump, and I refuse to force that onto anybody, right? And when people are empaths and people understand how people feel, and they hear and see all of those things, you can't unsee that stuff. So learning how to rise above when things happen is one thing, but to force something onto your eyes and ears that you don't need to hear or understand is not something I want to be known for. If I'm going to be known for something, it's going to be for overcoming and all the ways you can benefit in the world when you show up for you instead of trauma. I can help you publish. Yeah, when it comes time, keep in touch. Go check out my website. You can see the things that I've already done. When it's time, I will look you up for sure. If you follow me on here, I will go follow you back and I'll also check out your content, whatever it is you have, because I really do like to follow along and get to know the people that I follow back. Ronaldo is better? I don't know who that is. Nobody, I don't know who it is. So obviously, I can't say nobody can. All right. So, anyways, welcome, Hitler. Hitler. Okay. I'm so happy we're best friends. Yes. You always need to have friends on here. And not just on here, having friends, people that you can reach out to. And you're going to need to have people that care. Shadow Khan. Who are you and why are you trying to publish? Why am I trying to publish what? Mm, if you show up on the next one, I don't know you, so I don't want to be harassing people yet. But when you show up to the next one, I go live usually a couple times a week. But when I do, and you show up to a couple and you're kind to my other people, then I will give you that opportunity. But if I don't know you just yet, I want people to connect and all those things, but I want to make sure that people are treating people fairly. Why are you? Oh, an autobiography. Oh, I said if I do, if I ever do, um, there's lots of things that will go into it. It's not just a one thing. So what I've been talking about, I need help with art logo ideas. Well, I will do my best to help you. You want art logos like for your page or like for a business? What kind of logo? We'll come back to that. We will send me an email and then I gave you my email, right? Send me an email and we'll see what we can come up with. But you're gonna have to be very specific in the email what it is you're looking for, what the ideas are, and I'll see if I can help. I cannot promise anything, but I will do my best to help. But you got to send it in an email because if it doesn't, I've learned if it doesn't go to my email, even if I write it down, if it doesn't go to my email and I can't respond back to it or do the thing, it will get forgotten. I'm always very busy and I love to help, but I also I know if it doesn't go to my email, that's my business email. So if it doesn't go to that email, it's not going to get done. And I'm honest enough to know myself. So, work, play, live. How are you? Good morning. Hail chat. I love that. Uh, I'm slowly getting to get my work done here, but I'm also chatting. It's kind of nice to hang out and chat for a little bit. You look so reserved and calm. Oh, it took me a long time to get here, my friend. When I tell you, don't let the calmness fool you, I can get rangy real quick. Um, I've just learned how to find the space before that happens, and it takes time. Send you a mail. I did, and I tried to put that code in. Hold on, let me see if I can go. If I don't kick myself out of here, I closed out my email. Shit. Okay. I got the one with the pro code, right? Is that what you're talking about? Hold on, let me check. Sometimes I'm slow. See what? Oh yeah. So I tried to type it in. I went to the thing to type it in. Like I went to my account and then I tried to type it in where it said upgrade to pro, and then it said type in the thing, and then it said it's already been used or something. Give me one sec. Let me see if I can pull it up. So it wouldn't like um okay, yeah, I got it right here and I have the code, but it wouldn't let me. I need, can you send me an email with the link too? Because I tried to take it, like, I tried to go to the link from my Google and it keeps opening in Microsoft Edge. And I'm wondering if that's part of the struggle. And I tried, see, because it's right there. Oh, now it's doing it. It wouldn't do it. Last time it wouldn't load it at all. And now I'm on Google, but it's just doing it now. But that's to not to create, log in. There we go. Hold on. I'm already here. Let me try. Sorry, chat. I'm working and side thing always. There's always a something going on. Uh, but create. Yeah. Okay. I'm logged in. So let's see. It just takes me right to the create today's video. Now I gotta get back to like as soon as I log in, change my channel type, convert. It took me a while to get to the pro coming soon. Learn about pro. Unlock pro. Okay, it took me all over the. Let me see. Maybe. Yeah, this access code is invalid or already used. And I copied and pasted it. So I'm not sure why or what it did, but I need to make sure I bookmark this. And what is the other one? So when we the what is it, Launch Flicks or whatever? What is that one? Because I want to do that. Because that's just where the hub is. Is that part of this, or do we sign in for that too? Because I really love that. That's the cutest thing ever. And it's going to be the best part of it, I think, because well, this is really good part, but it's going to be the best part because people can see each other. I will look at it from our end. Yeah. Oh, I trust. I'm not. Listen, it's the beginning. It's the ground floor of all of the things. So you're not gonna have. You're not gonna learn. You're not gonna fix things if there aren't glitches. And when you get in on the ground floor, guess what happens? That's our job to let you know when things are working or are not working. Um, and I'm sure it's something very simple. Yeah, but how do we go and just look at it? Like, how do we go into that place? Because like when I did the a Holy crap, English, Tiffany. Um, when I logged in, it just takes me right to the creator, like to start my video. But how do I go to the content hub, like where I can get your content seen? Oh, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, the creator network. This is what it is, right? But if I want to go in and just see it, creator spotlight, I just got a bookmark here too. Okay, I got it. I think. There we go. Yeah, so if I just bookmark that, that's why I went, because then I can go in there and I can see who's posting and what's going on, right? So I can, like, if you're live, I can just go click on you and you go to your live, right? That's my favorite part of it. So I was like, how come I can't get to that? And I like, well, I like all of it, but I like this part because you can see and you can go right to where they're live. But I couldn't get myself to it. Like when I opened the launch pad, uh, yeah, when I opened from that link, the Creator Launchpad app, but it's on my computer. So do I need it on my, maybe if I download it on my phone, it'll be differently. But when I open the Launchpad, it just takes me right to posting my video. Anyways, I don't want to play around with it. I got to focus on my job. But it's not taking that code. But when you get it figured out, you let me know. I'm not upset about it. I don't get upset about that stuff. I understand when you get in on the ground floor, you get the good, the bad, the ugly, and that's how it fixes. It is better on your computer. That's what I thought it was going to be. So perfect. That's good. I'm stoked about it. I wish I had known I would have got in at the founder level. Um, I'm really into those things, and like me, I'm just starting my business. Well, it started in October, but I'm just starting my business. I'm starting um, my free workshops, my group sessions, my one-on-one coaching. Like I'm just starting a lot of things. So I understand going in, the first one is always going to be, I don't want to say rocky, but there's always going to be bugs you got to get out of it. And in doing that, it doesn't matter. You still got to do it. So I like getting in on the ground floor of stuff like this because when you see people that show up day in and day out and they put that much work into creating something, you know that they have really good intentions. So you are? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, as soon as I started nosing around, and I don't understand all of them yet, but there's another one I really liked. The mock up. There's a couple. I was looking through them and I was like, and then there's also another one with the what was it? Health and wellness. It was like not coaching stuff, but it was just like really great one liners, motto, stuff like that. Like just uplifting stuff. And that's I saw that too. I've been shopping, I've been looking on your thing. But I don't want to overdo it. I got to do a little at a time because I still have to pay for my stuff. But um, as we're doing it, I'm looking. You have a lot of good stuff on there, which just shows how much work that you've actually been doing in the background because you don't get to that much stuff without doing the work, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm super excited for it. And when I do this, so since you're here, I'm just gonna ask because when I do this after I'm done my live, that's when I update the description and all that good stuff on there. But if I type in what this was going to be about, stubborn woman, good morning. How are you? Welcome, welcome. If I type in what this one was talking about, and then if I have also like a little thing like my website, my workshop, the links that I want to do, if I tell it that, then will it create it and do it, add it to it each time? Like, is there a way that I can like have that the little add-on at the end with the links and stuff like that just be added each time? I'm really good. How are you? I'm finally getting my butt back in gear. I felt like a way long time off because we had spring break and then Easter break. So playing catch up, and now I'm doing the chit chat in the chat. Eventually, I'll get my work done today. As long as I get to get my kiddo, we're doing really good. But I've been slacking, but in the best possible way. So I'm not even mad about it. My kiddo being home, and she had some appointments and stuff like that. So we got a lot of good stuff done. And I've done a lot of creating in the background. So even when I'm not visible, I've never stopped working. I pretty much live at this computer now. Um, I was creating my programs, and I've actually got a couple emails back from some really big places that are talking about my workshops. I'm on the wait list. I'm in there, which is really exciting because then I'm gonna actually get into some of the places where like women's shelter stuff like that. That I can meet people where they're at, and if they really do want to make change, they can. I can help them do it, without forcing them or putting them. Just teaching them a little bit of empowerment. So I'm actually pretty excited. This year is going to be really, really, really good. It's slow, but it's slow and steady, and there's always forward movement. And the movement and the way things are coming is pretty exciting. So refresh the app. It just says, like, I just get one screen. It says, create today's video. Tap one's got a complete video package. But, like, when I load the app, that's all it does. Maybe I got to sign out. How do I get to the other stuff? Oh, there you go. Starter kit. Eat. System unlocked. It says unlocked. So, there you go. And then now, oh, conversion tool. Got it. Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And what I was asking is, so I have a little thing, like at the end of all my descriptions, I put the link to my free workshop and my group session stuff like that. When I Because like I'm doing my live now, when I do the description and stuff for it, I can just use this to create kind of the words or the script description. Do I just have to tell it each time to add that part of the link, or like can I save it? Is there a way to save it so that that just gets added on each time? Does that make sense? I know this kind of sounds weird question, but it's like I use it all the I add it to all my descriptions so that it's always there, and it does change with whatever I'm teaching on each day. So I'm just wondering if there's a way to save any of those things, or if I just need to copy it and then uh, you will walk me through it to put the description. So, because it says create today's video, but I'm doing the live, right? So, is this to create another video, or is this, because it says like long 3 to 8 video, or is it two different things? Like my live is one thing, and then the video is that I'm creating is different. Because what I'm actually trying to do is clip like when I do my lives, I want to do my clips, and I want to do like be able to clip out of it whatever I got from the live so I can break it down into smaller ones, if that makes sense. Oh, don't rush. I'm supposed to be actually doing other work, so I'll stop harassing you. I'll keep doing my talk, and then you let me know how stuff works because I'm still learning, and I'm also the one that will ask you 100 questions and drive you crazy if you let me. All right. So I'm gonna actually be on topic for a little bit. I'll do my very best, guys. This is the light through the cracks, right? So, like I was talking about in the kindness that breaks you open, this is where you do your best not to self sabotage. This is where, um, in that moment where you do feel cracked open and vulnerable, and all those things that you really want to push away because you've had to be hyper independent and all those things your whole life, those parts of you that are sore. They hurt. They're unsure of what to expect because um, these people being kind to you is like, when's the other shoe gonna fall, right? Because you don't know how to accept it because you've never had it, and it's okay. It takes practice, just like anything else. They always make that kind of um, explanation, like, you eat and drink when you need it, but imagine being out in the desert and then you get to water. Of course, you're going to drink gallons and gallons and gallons of it, and you're gonna overdo it because you don't know how to adjust, right? It takes time, it takes balance. Do you want to win some money? I mean, unless it's a couple million. How are you, Bob Taylor? Um, we all want to win money, but I prefer to earn it. I do prefer to earn it, and I earn it honestly. Why are we doing a lottery? A big lottery? Only if it's a guaranteed win. I'm just kidding. My sarcasm will get me in trouble sometimes. Sorry, guys. But so this is the part that I'm trying to explain, right? When that part feels vulnerable, and when you do want to push it away, if you just can let yourself sit with it just for a moment and feel it, because what happens is that light is getting in those cracks and it's saying, it's okay. Those parts of you, we see you. You deserve to be seen. And what's happening is you're slowly learning that you are worthy. Because when you're trying to push kindness away and you're trying to, because it's scary and it's safe and it's uncomfortable, you're trying to push it away because you don't know how to accept it. And you don't know how to accept it because you didn't know your worth. Um, and when you start to learn your worth, things change. The way you look at things, the way you see yourself, the way you allow people to treat you, mistreat you, uh, come against you, show up for you. Uh, Most times the kindness hurts as bad as it does is because you give it to everybody else, right? But you don't know how to give it to yourself. And what it's saying is if you just take that pause and instead of pushing it away, you just sit with it and start to say, no, that might feel uncomfortable, but I really do deserve that. I do deserve this kindness. Just because I haven't had it doesn't mean I don't deserve it. And when you sit with that and you allow that light to come in and you allow it to fill those dark little corners of your heart that have been closed off for so long, you create space for yourself. And you create the kind of space that allows you to dream, allows you to see your actual worth. I said yes. What would you like me to answer you? What is the answer you want me to say to you? You said, "Do you want to win some money?" And I said, "Yes." Is it a big lottery? Of course, especially if it's a big lottery. I mean, I'm being funny, but I don't know. Wanting to win money is pretty vague question, but I'm sure we all want to win money. Does that make sense? Okay, so last week we talked about the kindness that breaks you open, but what happens after that, right? The crack is not damage; it's excess, right? The moment something opens, light has somewhere to go. And when it shines its light on all of those little dark spaces, on those things that you thought you hid from the whole world because you didn't want them to know. Ready now for the questions. Okay. Um, convert video prompt. Okay. So when I, because this, holy, my brain starts going sometimes way faster than my mouse can go. Um, so when I'm creating my videos, like this live that I'm doing now, um, I can do this and use it for the description and all that stuff too, even though I'm not creating a video out of it. Uh, like I will create short form videos, but this is like the description and the idea, right? So at the end, when I'm filling in the description for this, what I'm wondering is like, so I have like my free workshop, I have my group coaching sessions, I have a couple of links that I always add at the end of the description of all my thing. Is there a way to save that so that each time when I'm doing it, I can just add it on, or do I have to just copy and paste it each time? If that makes sense. Like, can I make it store that? So each time I just, okay, we want to describe this video, and then this chunk of links go at the bottom. Okay, my format preference. Save projects. Okay, I can. I'm in settings. So my channel type, my format preference. Mine would be long. Oh, I gotta go back. Save my channel. Mine's not on there. Of my channel, and I guess I don't know what mine would be. Other? Yeah. What do you put it? I don't know. Personal accountability. I'm just describing it, right? Oh, I guess you can't. Oh my god, I cannot type. This is bad. Uh, Good enough. Hi, I'm 9 years old. Well, shouldn't you be in school? Which means I'm gonna tell your teacher on you. I hope you have a really good day. Go to class. Do your work. And I mean that in the best possible way. Ah, hello, how are you? Oh, yeah, I saved it, I think. Maybe not. I gotta, who's Ruby? Jamari? Welcome. Hmm. Try again. Look at the bottom where you see starter kit. Long form chapter, niche playbook. We are upgrading to. Okay, I got that. Tools designed to help new creators start fast, stay confident. Okay, so I see. So when you go here, it's gonna help me with my shorts and with my first three long videos. Identity builder. Okay. So what I should do is go through all of this long form, reusable outlines. Oh, for structured long form videos. I see. I see. Have a good day, Helen. Sorry, I guess sidetracked. Got sidetracked, but this is actually going to be really helpful and beneficial to everybody in the long run. So I'm actually really grateful that I get to get this help. And niche playbook. So uh, I hope you have a really fantastic day, Helen. Thank you for stopping in and hanging out. Um, the replay will be up, and I may cut it down into what I've been doing is cutting it down into the important sections because we know on the live, oh yeah, it's nighttime. Oh my lord, get some good sleep. Go to channel identity. I think I just scrolled past it. Oh, the identity builder. Yeah. Cutesy Cookie. That's such a cute name. My favorite annoying live streamer. Oh, I love that too. I love that I get to annoy you and anybody. It just brings my heart so full of joy. What type of creator are you? I'm a beginner. Leave me alone. What topic do you care about? Oh, okay. Mm. I got to put just one topic because I have, well, I guess it's all kind of the same. What style do you like? How many videos per week do you want to make? Oh, oh, okay. I see. The app will now only give you what is related to you. Right. So when I'm putting it in and what I want to create, or if I have a general idea on something, I can kind of type it in and it will help me. I don't want to say ground it, but it will help me push it out. So now I just show up every day and I can say, okay, let's create a video today. And I can do the smaller ones and then keep my long form ones for my lives. Is that what that means? Once I'm done this live, you know I'm gonna back out of that section now. Okay. I could read this for days. Do I have to save it or just go back to starter kit? Okay, now where do I go? There needs to be more people that are doing this on here because then I'd be learning too. So your first 10 shorts, your first three long videos, posting schedule, find the best pace for your lifestyle and niche. Long form chapter, go to the front page. What is the front page? So when I log in, it just takes me create right directly to create today's video. Tap once is where it says create. So yeah, it says create today's video. Tap once. Oh, okay. So generate my long video. Is that what you're talking about? Okay. I'm such a geek. I love this stuff so much. You can film this today. Let's go. Right. So where it says copy video prompt, if I want to do it like later, just copy it to a document or whatever. Because like if I leave out, it will go. Um, like if I leave out and don't copy this down, then it's like gonna assume I already did it, and like it will just disappear, right? Does that make sense? So like if I want to do it, I would copy the prompt because like I'm live now, so I'm obviously not going to do it now. But um, I would copy the prompt. I can do it later, and then come back and do it again each time, right? Oh, you can save it. So if I save it, I can come back and do it like after I'm done this live or whatever, or do it later today. Come back and create it, and then I just add all this stuff in it. Ah, okay. It's saved to my project. I'm so stoked. Like, it's just like I already have a gazillion ideas always, but it's like uh, my struggle is always going to be the audience. And I don't actually know how good or bad my stuff is because I don't have enough followers yet. Yet I know we're building, but um, so as much as I'm trying to use the analytics to teach me some stuff, because I'm still convert to long form, which is like what this one is. Or is this a short? I guess this would be based on a short, eh? Doesn't matter. It's good. It's really, really good. I like it. I think what you're doing is amazing, and I think it's going to be extremely helpful. And I'm really glad that I got in. So next time when you're doing these things and you come up with these good ideas and stuff like this, even when it's the add-ons and the extras, uh, yeah, I can see where it says convert to long form. I saved it already though. Oh, so just stretch it out to the few minute. This will take a few moments. Yeah, it's converting it. I might save them both, and then I'll go back and mess with it when I'm not live. But I'm telling you, this is something that I would probably play with all day long once I have a little bit of time. Yeah, and then and it says convert again, so you can just convert it back and forth. But I saved them both. Oh, I'm gonna be every single day. I'm gonna be in here. Um, because a lot of times what happens is like, yeah, I'm doing the lives, but I don't have time to get the videos and do them. But or to sit there. But if I can already have it created, the idea there, I can just come on and do it. But I do like some of the actually creating the visuals but it would have to be like my voiceover or something. But I don't know what that one was. But I saw it when you made the video, and it was like the AI people and all that stuff. Oh yeah, I just saved that one for now because I want to go back and read it because I'm live. But it looks right up my alley. It's pretty good. I think maybe that's the mock-up one. I could be wrong, but I saw you go through. Maybe I think it was Red. He went through it and he made the little video, and it was like the AI. It was like people or whatever, but it was really cool. But that's something. Oh, it's on here too on this. Because what I like, if you see some of my content, I don't know if you ever catch it, but I do my content with like the pictures and stuff like that. Because I'm not that great at Canva, I've been working on learning it. But the idea is to get the emotion and the visual of what I'm trying to portray, and then the voiceover. So creating those uh, small videos, but getting that, being able to do the voiceovers and stuff. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Still haven't figured that out. I have Canva. I don't know what other things I need for that yet. I've not made it that far yet, but it is something that I'm looking into. Just because I don't want it to always just be my face all the time. I mean, as much as people just love seeing my face, uh, yeah, if you do, I don't know how I wasn't following you until like just a couple weeks ago. I always seen you and just assumed I was following you, and then I went to your page and I'm like, what? So, and I'm also going through your stuff. I'm doing reds and fabrics, and I'm going through your stuff because y'all have so much stuff to learn, and I can't keep up. But if y'all do it, I definitely want to learn and understand because as much as I love having my face on here, I can't always do it. And especially in the summer, having fun in 3, 2, 1. I love your name. Actually, I really love your name. What I really want to do is I want to be able to create videos that aren't always going to be in my face. Working on a ladder today. That does not sound like a good time. And I'm laughing with you, not at you. I just really I want to say I hope there's nobody behind you on the ladder. When if something like that were to happen, you just kind of have to learn to roll with it and laugh. Just don't laugh at the guy if they were behind you because that would not. Nobody would be happy about that. But those things don't bother me. I traveled with the carnival for 25 years. There's nothing you're gonna tell me that wouldn't shock me. Um, I wish you the best. I hope you're doing good. I use this app to grow this channel. Almost three. Wow. Yeah, I believe you. Even immediately when he was talking about it, I just knew that for you monetizing, well, I still need followers. I don't even have enough followers yet. I think I need, I don't remember. I still need like 250 followers or something. But, and it's not about rushing it. Like, as much as I do, I really would like to get monetized because then I can start doing my stuff. Um, Yeah, we need classes. Yes. We need I have the tool. Now I need help learning how to use it. Which I completely have faith that um it's going to be there. And these classes and as you're learning and sharing, more and more people are gonna sign up because it's exciting. And I was so excited. I was like, I saw the 25 spots and I was like, don't sell them all. Don't sell them all. And normally I'd be like, sell them all. Like I'd be so happy cheering you on to sell them all. I'm like, I'm just like, I'm like, no, you gotta save one spot. Don't sell them all before Monday. Sell 24. I don't care, but I need one spot. Thank you. Uh, so I had faith and I showed up and I tried to purchase it Monday morning and I didn't understand because it said the number in the buy me a coffee, but it didn't. I had to actually physically type it in, even though it was showing for it to let me pay it. And I was like, what is going on? And I started to freak out. And I was like, nope, go for a walk, go outside, have a coffee, come back and do it again. That's how excited I was about this. So if I hadn't known, I would have been on it like white on rice. You have no idea that people. Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. You know when there's things that you just see and you can tell that people are doing the work in the background, and you can tell that it's interesting, and you can tell that it's meant to be helpful, and it's a network. It's something that's connecting people. Uh, you come with good people, and as soon as I seen it, I could tell that the work had been done in the background. Even if I don't understand all of it right away, I knew that the work had been done. I knew what the intention was, and I knew what the goal was and what you're trying to do. Right, you're trying to help us get where we got to go, a little bit faster, a little bit easier, a little less mind ache. Um, and with a bunch of people that actually want to connect and help get there. Uh, I seen it. Yeah, I when I got to the creator network page, I seen it was on there, and that's what I mean. Like as soon as I saw the what was it the what do you call that launch flicks or something? As soon as I saw that, I was sold. Like I was like, I don't care how the rest of it works. Um, because the people that tune into this, they already know and understand it. So as people start growing into it and understanding it, um, they're going to know who are the first people they're going to go promote, share out, who's the first people they're going to go support, the other people that see and understand what they're doing. So it's like a spotlight literally to say, hey, and yeah, I can see it on there right now. Um, and to me, that's like I was sold immediately. You did a really great job, and I'm slow in learning, and I know that. But it's like for me with any learning curve, once you start learning it, I can learn anything. I can do anything. It might take me a few minutes. I may ask a few questions. Did you? Yeah, and it's here. I'm literally looking at it. I can see it. At first, I was like, how do I get to there? And that was my struggle because I couldn't figure out how to get there. But now I have this page bookmarked because, like, when I go to the Launchpad AI, it doesn't take me here. This is a separate page or a separate, I don't want to say app, but it's like the dashboard. But when you sign into the Launchpad AI, it doesn't take you here. And I don't know how to get there from there. But, like, does that make sense? But now that I have it bookmarked, the Creator Network, I can just go there and log in, if that makes sense. But it would be really cool. I don't know how complicated it is or not, but it would be really cool to have a very direct way. And maybe there is, I just don't know how to do it yet. So let's be clear. I'm not thinking that you don't haven't done it. I just don't know how to do it yet. But the it would be really super cool to have a direct place, like from this part where it says start your YouTube journey, or when you uh, go in here to be able to go check out that hub too. Yeah, there is. So where is it? I had a feel there had to be. I just made sense to me that it would. I just don't know where it is or how to get there yet. I totally. This is gonna be a really long live, guys, and I'm sorry. But if we need to feel really good about the fact that I'm learning a lot of stuff right now, and it's going to benefit everybody in the future. How do I get there from there? Posting schedule guide. Oh, maybe it's there. Oh no, that's just a schedule. I don't want to mess with that yet. Tap on. Yeah, I don't see it. Settings. Hmm. Yeah, I don't activate your creator page. Okay, that's where I'm at here. Your invites. Oh, okay. Oh, they're all different ones. So I can invite people in it. There is. It's at the front. Where's the front? So when I log in, like where it says Creator Launchpad AI app, as soon as I log in, it goes right to create today's video. Like that's all I see as soon as I log in. And then there's the little settings thing. And there's the little chat thing at the bottom. Oh, it's the send feedback. How's your experience? And then it says create, convert, starter kit. Get your content seen. Ah, dude, I cannot. Get your content seen. Open work play live. You know, I scrolled all the way down, but because it was yellow, and where it said it was yellow before to upgrade to pro. That's one of those like it's right in front of your face. You can't see it. Okay, but that's good because now I know how to. Because I was like, that was my. I was like, that's my favorite part. Because it's just like when you sign into YouTube, right? And yeah, well, it's just gonna take practice. I trust it. It's one of those things. Once you learn that little bit, you get really good at that, and then you learn a little bit more. Uh, and they're small little learns, but really big gains. So, and I knew that immediately, and I knew it was going to be a learning curve, and I knew, uh, but I knew that it was worth investing in, and I also knew that it's going to be really beneficial. So I promise you don't have to worry. I have all the faith in the world. Plus, I feel pretty confident. Like if I'm stuck, and I ask for help, somebody is actually gonna help me. So, which is that's the gonna be the absolute top tier of what this is gonna be, right? Because you don't mind taking the time, showing up, and helping, right? Plus, when once we start inviting people and people start asking like, "How do you do this? How do you do this?" Oh yeah, I love Miss TG. Who's calling me? Yeah, Miss TG always has me. I love her to pieces. But we learn as we go, and it's a learning curve. I don't worry too much. Reds is really helpful too. I haven't met one person on here that hasn't been helpful, so that I don't worry about at all. And I know it's always going to be little things for me. Uh, where do I find this? Once I find that, and once I find it, yeah, they're probably really, really good at it. Um, but I know that once I find that certain thing, this is what I'm trying to do. Once I know how to get to that part each time, I'm good. So I'm super stoked about it. And I was really when he was teaching it, I was there for the whole episode when he was talking about it. And I was like, the way he was describing how to come up with the video and how to show it, it was pretty badass. I was excited. And I'm super stoked. So when I'm done this live, I'm going to actually set up the, it was in the settings, I think. That's not today. Uh-oh, hold on, I gotta check. No, they moved it. That's why. I was like, I just got a thing from my thing saying I had a workshop today, but they rescheduled it, so we're good. Oh yeah, trust me, I will. I'll be that person that drives you nuts when I have a question. Um, if I need it answered, I will drive you crazy. But really, honestly, I'm pretty good. I'm good at trial and error because the one thing is I'll screw up enough that I'll remember. Don't do that. Don't do that. I appreciate you popping in, and I appreciate you helping me. And even just that little bit, I feel really good about it, and I'm excited. And I hope it jumps off, and I hope you make millions and millions and millions off it. I hope it ends up feeding your family for generations to come. I truly do. And that's the idea, because that's what it's supposed to do. You don't come up with amazing things like this. I'm not kidding. Like, I'm literally not kidding. You don't put that much work in to not get paid, right? And I promise you, the work and the care that you put into it, it will be beneficial. And I saw that I don't know where it was, but I saw that there was um, invites so I can invite friends. So once I make some friends, I'll be sending them invites. But that's a really great idea. And I think you got good people and lots of people that want to promote it. And it will be really good. And now I'm going to set a goal. So I think after this week, when I catch up on my long form ones that I have, I want to set a goal. And I want it to be realistic, but I do want to be monetized. One more thing before I go. Yes, let me know. Anastasia, good morning. How are you? Oh, it's afternoon now. I'm over here slacking. I'm not slacking. I'm learning. I hope you're doing really well. It's the evening too. It's almost bedtime for you, right? One more thing before I go. What's up? I'm fantastic. I was coming on teaching, but I was learning, which is awesome. I want to show you how to go to your dashboard. Okay? Yep. I would definitely like that. Why are you saying sorry? You don't ever have to apologize to me. And coming in, popping out. That's what lives are for, right? Sometimes we have our own stuff to do, and I understand that. She's really good, really, really good. She got her first pediatrician appointment in like 3 years. Thank God. It took forever. She's on the list for the ICANN assessment, which still is going to be a little time, but finally, even if the wheel is moving slowly, things are moving. And the good thing is, it's moving slow enough that I'm getting to learn the learning curves. And um, because I have to learn through trial and error, I think I'm learning way better because the way I'm able to meet her where she's at, teach her, and um, help her create and become empowered, right? Because she's so confident, even when she's struggling. The way that I've created the pathways for her, when they said, "Well, this you can't do that, you can't do that," but those things that they're saying that I couldn't do are the ones that are exactly working for her. So um, even though it's slow getting everything else done, I think the trial and error has been the best part because it's allowing me to say, stop generalizing, and it's allowing me to teach it. Make sure you're logged into the Launchpad app. Open a new browser. Okay. Yeah. As soon as I click on, like, I from your email, I clicked on the AI app, the Launchpad, and then right away it takes me to create today's video, and then generate my long video, and then day streak. Open a new one, like a whole new browser. That's just a new tab, right? So not. And then how do I type it in? Launch. Open a new browser. Okay. Okay, new tab. Okay, good. And then do I have to open it again? It's definitely logged in. Yeah, it shows my account. So I've definitely logged in. And it says activate creator page. When your page is active, your videos can appear. Oh, why does when your page is active, your videos can appear? Hmm. So I gotta put my YouTube in, yeah. I thought it was already connected. That's okay. It says upgrade to Pro to get lifetime access. But I'm logged in. It says right here. But it just says activate creator page. Oh, maybe if you have different creator pages, is that why? Like if I had two or three different pages? Yeah, because these are all your channels, right? Yeah, it looks like I'm signed in. Yeah, I think it's good. For now, I just have to I'm gonna create thing. Yeah, that's the creator network is the where I see everybody, right? Where it says work, play, live, TV, Red Devil, Miss G. I see the videos, and like me, it says live now, so I must be the only one that's live. Uh, and then it says trending creator, or does it just highlight them or rotate them when they're live? And it says featured creators, yeah, and then founding creator. Yeah, once I get to work play live, top right from there, where it says creator login. So I'm in Workplay Live Creator Network. Discover the creators from the Workplay Live. There we go. Oh, it says your trial is active, 28 days remaining. Welcome your content upgrade to pro. Oh, but I did that already. Is this where I was supposed? It says trial active. This is what I. It says upgrade to pro. So is this the same? Do I have to upgrade this one too? Oh, okay. But that this comes with it. So like when I upgraded to pro, this one will it will they're the same, like or they're similar connected. Okay, all right. It doesn't matter. This is cool as hell. And it's gonna get really, really big. You're gonna have to do a lot of teaching, but once you start teaching a few people and they start doing it all the time and talking about it, it's gonna get real big real quick. They work together. Maybe I work together. Where did that go? Oh, they work together. Yes, gotcha, gotcha. It's cool. Very, very cool. There's so much stuff. I'm gonna be launch flicks. That's what we. Oh, it's not. Maybe it's. I'm gonna be in here playing around all day. I love this part. They all work together. You don't have to do anything else. I gotcha. Watch on you. I love it so much. You kick ass when you made this. We're real pics, real. Oh, shopping too. Oh Lord, we're in trouble. Wow, you outdid yourself. This is really going to be super big. Uh-oh. If I learn how to use it, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing with this all day. I was stoked. I was like, be patient because when I paid for it, I know all the things had to happen. I'm like, be patient, it'll go through. And I wanted to go exploring, but I had to catch up on doing this part of my work too. So yeah, I'm so stoked. I trust me, I'm just gonna be like a kid in a candy store. But it really is. My goal this year is to get to like by the end of the year get to monetization. So that is my goal. So if I can make it help me, work with me to get monetized this year, then that's all I care about at the end of the year. And it's because with my workshops and all the other stuff, if I can get to monetization, then I don't have to worry so much about having to um, push sales and be selling things to people because I don't. It's not that I don't want to make money. I just would much rather do my stuff to help people. Um, and if this can pay for me to live, even modestly, then I don't have to fight so hard and take money. I can give it out free um, and make people happy. Why are you saying sorry? Sorry, I have a lot going on. I don't know what you're apologizing for. Hi, Jane. How are you? You don't have to worry. Many people come in and just listen to me in the background, pop in, pop out. Um, I'm never gonna be mad if you have to go. I'm never gonna be mad if whatever happens. Life, life's. And the only thing I hope is when you do pop in, you get a little bit of love, a little bit of strength, and a little bit of joy for your day. That's all that matters. Jane, I forgot to email you about the earrings. I still want them, but I wanted to make sure that I had funds first. Because even though you say you don't mind taking money, I'm not going to take something for nothing. But there's two of them that I really like, so I am on. It's on my list of things today. I had to wait till I had money in the bank account. I definitely wanted the small little peridot ones if you have any of those ones. But there was another one, the longer ones. They're really pretty. Uh, yeah, I know, but there still has to be something for you. You put that effort in, and you create them. I cannot just expect something for free, even just paying the shipping. Tiff, I'm your biggest fan. Amaya, you don't have to worry. Um, they were just it was the pure dot ones, the small little ones, and then you had the little diamond shaped ones. There was just a beautiful purple one. Uh, they were all beautiful. Really, honest to God, I'm not picky on the colors. I think that the way you made them was beautiful, and I'll make an outfit to match them. I make everything work or just shipping. No, I know that, and trust me, I know that when you do things and you do them from the heart, I'm the same way. Uh, and don't worry, I'll be sending you back some tea. You got to try my tea; you'll love it. It's really really good. But yeah, it's on the list, and I was like one of those things. So as I do it, I have to budget my spending money. So I budget everything in and I keep it pretty good because I have to be frugal until I start actually making decent money. But we're getting there. I made some of the new ones I haven't shared yet. Yeah, I'm gonna send you an email. I need to write it down so I don't. If you saw, this isn't how my note thing goes on top. Like this is my work that I do today. This is how my notes written all over the place because it's like if I don't write it down and see it in front of my face, as soon as I get sidetracked and my kiddo comes home, it's one of those. Staying focused is just torture. I'll be like, I gotta do this, gotta do that, and then unless I can literally write it down like this and go and cross it off when I'm done, it almost never gets done. And the good thing is, I finally learned that about myself, so it's beneficial in the way that I know how to check on myself, and I can actually go through the list of 25 things and see what I didn't do and what needs to be done. I still have my Google Calendar and all that stuff, and I have my I just have stuff every like if literally this is my wall. This is how I get things done. And that's just the one wall. That is all my notes, my keep my crap together. Uh, yes, like that. I don't think you understand why I'm so. That's why I'm so excited about it. Um, I'm a single mom. I have to do everything myself, and it's not a pity me or any of those things. It's just when you have a child with learning struggles and who's very high energy, and you have to do all of the things and run a business, and you still want to get this stuff out there. Yeah, like I saw it, I understood it, I grasped what it can do. Yes, it's going to take a little bit of time uh, to understand how to use it, get good at it, but that's a learning curve with anything. Uh, and I don't mind investing. I don't mind. I'm learning that investing in myself, investing in others, in things like this is investing in myself because I'm learning from the ground up, and I'm learning in a space where, as things change, those little changes that come along, those little add-ons, the cool stuff that comes, um, they're just little things. Oh, just add it on because you already know and understand how to use it. And I'm one of those people that once you know how to use something and start getting good at it, that loyalty is a big difference, right? And what I'm actually hoping is that I may get rid of Canva. I've paid for the year, but um, get rid of Canva and work on something where I can be a little more fun with the videos and stuff because the pictures, like creating the pictures are okay, but I want it to be a little more motion, right? So I'm stoked. You have no idea the learning curve, and I'm learning that during those learning curves, I'm honest about it. I tell people I'm still struggling with this, or I'm trying to find the balance. I teach personal accountability, self empowerment, and self love, but um, and trying to find the balance. But I'm also always honest that when you're a single mom and you're trying to learn and adjust all these things, that it is an ever ongoing thing. So um, even when you think you got the balance, just perfectly balanced, life, things happen, and that's why I'm trying to figure out the balance now before summer comes. Because when summer comes, like my kid's gonna have to figure something out for an hour a day or 2 hours a day, right? Which is still, if my where I used to work, it was 12 and a half hours a day, 3 hours travel, and then I had to sleep eventually. So, oh yeah, I'm all for it. I'm here. I'll be listening, learning. Also, if you need the what was that called? It was the AI something. I needed something to help me create the video part of it. Like if I actually want other people to do it, where I have the voiceovers and stuff for it. Sorry, I think it kicked me out. I don't know why. It did. It just stopped and started. Oh, and I started from the beginning. What happened? That was really weird. Yeah, uh, because I definitely want to find something that works with that because that will create a whole bunch of change. I gotta write this down. Email. This one I'm gonna have to tell people. I'm gonna have to put when I post a live. If y'all want to get to the actual business, you gotta scroll it. But I think it started. It went back to 0 minutes, so maybe it started a new line. YouTube be messing with me right now. No, it's still showing here. I think. Yeah, just any information you can send. And the classes are great. They're very going to be really helpful because it's not even the work itself. I'm that person that there's a question for the question. So it's like, uh, yeah, my phone disconnected me and then reconnected. That's kind of weird. Things happen. I'm used to it. But what happens is I'm that person, like, you got to dumb it down to uh, like baby steps. Uh, like if I have to ask Chat GPT to help me walk through something, it'll go 5 steps forward, and I'll be like, "Whoa, back it up." But once I do the baby steps and I understand where each thing is and how to get there, 2, 3 times, really, really dumb it down for me, and then uh, after the third time, I'm flying. Like I'm literally, I can do it back and forth, blindfolded. Yeah, because teaching, like, it's just the basics. The stupid little stuff, like this is where you find this, and literally break it down. This is how you get to the launch flicks, the network connection, and literally walk them through and show step by step because uh, those stupid little things, they're not stupid, but they are. And it's like when you're trying to find them, you get so frustrated and you can send yourself in these loops, right? You go here, you go there and here, and you completely miss the thing that's right in front of your face. So but it's those little things that cause the most hindrance, right? But I think that yeah, for me, it's just always the little techie things because I'm not good at tech. It took me uh, I don't even, well, since I started YouTube to figure out how to do some of this stuff, I just learned to figure out Canva and I can create a couple pictures and add the letters and make a little short video um, with the pictures, not moving video, but like I've just learned how to create that kind of stuff. So like the tech stuff and the little how to get to here are the things that hold you up, right? So uh, I just saw that popped up. I don't know what it said, but one of these things is it's just a constant. It's the tech stuff because some of the stuff I don't know or understand, but uh, once I walk through it a couple of times, I could literally walk you through it blindfolded, like you've never touched a thing. So, and maybe that's why I do it because then I can go back, or I'll ask the question why. If as long as people understand why this is going here, why this is going there, you'll never have a question. Um, Even if like when I'm doing my workshops, it sounds kind of redundant, but when I do my workshops and I do the work papers that go with it, um, I before I ask them the question that I want them to think about, I put a little paragraph explaining exactly why I'm asking the question and why they need to understand that. Then I ask the question. Then when they answer it, I do the little question. Now compare how that feels when you go back. Hello, Fairbanks. Welcome back. Uh, I'm totally not. I'm off complete topic on my work, but I'm learning so much. Have you even checked out Workplay Live's Launchpad, the Creative Network? Have you checked it out? It's freaking phenomenal. Hi, Gogo. Good morning. It is a two-way street, right? So I'll always ask the questions and I will always tell you what I think. But you got to remember when we come to the um, two-way street, if you were to look at like your tech level and my tech level, I'm way down here. And I'm okay with that. I understand that 1,000%. But when we get to that kind of level where it's like, uh, the things that you forget because you had to learn all the way to get up there. You had to learn down here, but you tend to forget that stuff because you've already done that, right? Where is the email? My email? Sorry, I missed something. Remember, this is yeah, work in progress. It doesn't things don't change. I don't know what brush is. Sorry, I missed something. Oh. I try to pay attention, but if it's not for me, then just let me know that because I absolutely love the launch flicks. It just brings me so much joy. And it's so funny because I actually stopped watching Netflix like 2 years ago. Yeah, I got you. I was like, wait a minute, it's not for me. You put a lot of work in this. You should be super proud. I think it's gonna go a lot bigger than what you even think that it's gonna be. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit of focusing. This is gonna be a really long live, guys, and that's why when the clips come out, and also in my um, what do you call it? In my description, I'll put where you can go to where I got down to business talking about what I was talking about because this was you'll be listening. Some people will be like, "Oh, I completely get it." Other people are gonna listen and be like, "What the hell is she talking about this whole time?" But I promise that it's going to be beneficial for me and for you guys in the future. I promise. So this one in the light through the cracks the idea is that when something opens up, the light has somewhere to go, right? And what happens is we're letting out all the negative stuff, all the feelings of unworthiness, all the fear, the self sabotage, all those things. Um, Through those cracks, that's the stuff that gets pushed out because you're shining lights on all those soft spots, right? Uh, she's up now and running. This is not your usual spot. Are you talking about me? Nothing as usual. I try to have my schedule, but I've punished myself so much about the schedule when it comes to Grace. Her appointments, her time, all those stuff, that stuff comes first. And we just came off spring break and then Easter right after that. It was crazy. She had a lot of doctor's appointments. Uh, so I just said, I'm going to go. This is the time when she's in school. But um, it's going to be a mix between this time of the day and afternoon because I have all the other workshops. I have evening workshops now. Uh, I have my workshops that I'm creating. Uh, I don't the angle. What do you mean? Oh, I'm too low. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that stuff. I know I'm just kind of you get what you get. I am. Oh, maybe because my chair's down. I put it down sometimes. Uh, I don't know. I try not to focus on that. There's so much stuff that I already have to focus on that I'm like, you kind of get what you get. Um, and if I could do it without you even having to see my face and just give you the information, I'd probably be okay with that too. Just get the information. That's all I care about. Uh, it's kind of funny, but it's true. I'm just like, uh, I'd rather share the information quickly, which is also the thing that I'm learning how to do the conversation in my lives instead of just staying focused on eyes on the prize. So the problem is I get sidetracked and distracted a lot, so it takes longer. But at the same time, I get to interact and have much more fun. So uh, it's a give take. We find the balance. There's a balance somewhere in there. We'll find it. All right. So what it is and what it isn't, the light and the cracks. It's making space, it's letting the truth in, and it's letting emotion move. And when you become aware, right? It's not fixing everything immediately, becoming positive overnight, or filling the space right away. Once you empty that space and you let all that stuff out, you got to let it sit for a minute because that's where all the processing, that's where all the really important stuff comes in. A lot of people want to ignore that, and that's where you feel vulnerable. That's where you feel yucky. That's where self sabotage wants to push you back into what feels comfortable, what feels safe. And unfortunately, when you've had a life full of trauma and grief and all those kind of things, that space, uh, that chaos is what feels safe, right? Even it's what you know to be safe. That doesn't mean that it is safe, but it's the only safe that you've ever known. So when you learn to find that and understand that, yeah, it feels different because I was looking for different. I wanted different. I've been learning this much of me to receive different. Well, I can't receive different if I keep going back to the same, right? So when you learn that and you start understanding that that space, that uncomfortable, that yucky, is not to scare you or make you self sabotage. It's just to allow you to say, yeah, it feels uncomfortable. But if I sit there, what else can I let go? What else can I make room for? What else is coming along the way? And it changes how you look at things and it allows you to see, well, I don't want that. I don't like that chaos. And I don't want to be around people that treat me this way. And I don't want this. And it allows you to see all of the things that you don't want. And when you start to recognize it, you start understanding that if you don't want all those negative things, you start to trust that I'm worthy. I'm worthy of these good things and all these things. And that worth starts to change how everything changes in your life. Platform won't share your content. Ah, that makes sense. All right. And then just because space is created, it doesn't mean it needs to be filled immediately. Give it time, enjoy that space, get clear on what you want to fill it with. And there will be stages because at first, the first little bit when it's uncomfortable, you'd be like, I just want kindness. I just want something nice. I just want this. And you don't really know how to get clear on what it is. And yes, you do want those things, but then you get it and you get it in a little different way or something. You're like, well, I really don't kind of want it that way. And it allows you the time to process and get really clear on what you're asking for. And when we start understanding from that perspective, it creates a lot of change, right? It changes um, how you ask for what you want, how you see what you want, and it allows you to tell the difference, right? And you're creating your own form of discernment. Um, Basically, the emotion is data, right? And that's what I was teaching back in the fire and flow. So when we understand it like that, um, what do we notice now that your heart's open, now that you see that vulnerable side? And it's not about showing it to the world, it's about what you notice, right? Where does it feel lighter, right? Because as much as it feels raw and sensitive, there's a space where it doesn't feel so heavy anymore. Where is that? What is it about that that feels lighter? Can you pinpoint it? Even if you can't just yet, that's okay. Give it time. But can you, right? Can you start asking those questions and get curious about it? Where does it feel raw? Because there's going to be many, many spaces in those cracks where it feels raw. Because that's vulnerability. That's where that kindness has actually dug so deep because you haven't had it that it hurts. And that's a scary moment. But when you can recognize where it feels raw and why, what are you creating? You're creating empowerment, information. You're allowing yourself to recognize where it hurts because usually it actually physically hurts in your body, right? And when you can recognize those things, you can actually make small changes, little ones. We're not taking things away. We're doing little add-ons. We're changing. We're celebrating those little things, right? And when we can notice it, awareness is key. It doesn't. It's not about perfection. It's about saying, "Oh yeah, I recognize that. That feels uncomfortable." But I remember if I just sat through that for a little minute, uh, it's going to tell me something. And if I listen and I start acting on what it's telling me, it's going to feel better and it will go away. And it will go away for good because it starts integrating. You can't change the parts of you. I'm going to give a small story, for example. And it took me a long time because so for me, I have certain core beliefs that are never going to change. Um, so when those things happen, so like when you give your loyalty and honesty and integrity, and those are like my three bottom lines. They cannot change. And I tried with everything in me to uh, meet in the middle on these things with the people close in my life or the people that I let in close. They weren't doing the same things, and they weren't living their life that way and then expected me to always show up with with the way I believed integrity and stuff. And it always ended up with me getting hurt, things happening, me losing things for them to get a step ahead. And I would get mad. And then when I would get mad and I tried to speak it out, then it was a punishment on me. Like, how am I? Uh, I'm wrong for advocating for myself, basically. But then it would turn into a cycle of fear, guilt, shame, all those things, because I felt bad, like I was doing something wrong. But the bottom line was the people that are telling you you're doing something wrong. These things, wanting the, loyalty, integrity, honesty, those are things that um, should never heal out of you. Those are your core beliefs. So there's going to be times in life where people just don't align, right? They're not going to align because that's not a core belief for them. That's not something that they believe in. So it's not a hate or an anger, but if those things don't align, there's always going to be friction, right? It's just understanding that. So when you start understanding that that doesn't align, that doesn't mean I hate you, I want bad for you. It just means I know that this matters to me so much more that I can't ever give a little bit. There's a but, like that line cannot cross. Um, and when those things start to happen, you're saying, we can't hang out, we can't be friends, we can't whatever. I wish you the best, but it always ends up this, and I can't have that. And when you start saying that, you recognize those things, right? Those thoughts that come in, they allow you to discern. Doesn't mean I hate those people. It means that their um, morals, their code of ethics, their things that they believe don't align with mine. So are we going to hang out and do things that always end up hindering mine because I stand for something different? Why would I put myself in that situation? It's got nothing to do with that. It's like me self protecting, right? Those are the thoughts that are coming into your head because your worth is starting to go up. Well, your worth was always up, but your understanding of your worth. And that's the idea. When we understand and we can sit with those things and process and see and understand the difference, we see, okay, I believe that I'm worth more than this. I believe that I'm worth more than giving into my morals, my code of ethics for somebody else to please somebody else. You start to process that. And when you start discerning that, that's when you truly can see, yes, I am changing. I believe that I'm worth this. Um, that's the emotion, that's the data. These are the things that those cracks, that raw part, those vulnerabilities are meant to show you, right? And yeah, I got you. I seen that. I'm starting to understand now. It's only when I have to focus too much and I'm like, wait, what? I'm slow sometimes, but I will get it together eventually. So you just can't let light in without also seeing what was hidden, right? For it to be released and let go through those same cracks that the light's going in, that light is pushing all that darkness out. And it's not pushing it out to be ignored, it's pushing it out for you to see it, to understand it, to process it so that it goes. My own support channel, my main. Yeah, see the techie bits. That's the stuff. That's always gonna be the stuff that gets me. So you don't have to worry about. I understand all that stuff. Those are always going to be my questions. But you have somebody who handles that. You're lucky. Um, so when people feel vulnerable, exposed, unsure, grace is what keeps you from shutting back down. Right? Learning how to give yourself grace, which was in the second set. Um, the information that it gave you from the fire and flow, and then the giving yourself grace is allowing yourself to understand that feeling vulnerable, feeling raw, understanding what's got to go. And most of the times, it's not you. It could be a pattern, a thought pattern. It could be something like that that has to go. But uh, sometimes learning, having the moments to learn the discernment. Is it something that I need to heal out of me? I need to fix. Um, or work on, or is it something that we don't align, and that's okay too, but it's just not okay in to be in my area, or we don't align, right? When you start to give yourself grace like that, you understand that very, very clearly. Giving yourself that space is really important. And that comes in the pause, and it's something that has to happen. To be able to actually do this alchemy in motion. If you don't give yourself that space, that understanding, you're always going to be pushing it back, and it's going to come, and you're going to get to that point, and you're going to explode. And when you explode, you're going to do it not almost every single time. You're going to do it on the person that never deserved it. And then you know what happens? You go right back into the same cycle of fear, guilt, shame, all of the things, and then you got to work your way back out of it. So the idea is that when we understand these things as they're happening and we can break them down into the information, what is this teaching me? Yes, I'm allowed to feel this. I'm giving myself grace and understanding to feel this. And while I'm feeling it, what is it teaching me? Okay, and then the next part is obviously going to be the accountability. So, what is my next actionable step, right? Grace is what keeps you from shutting back down. It creates safety, and safety allows honesty. You don't have to rush your healing. You don't have to close back up just because it feels unfamiliar. And when you do, don't punish yourself because it's going to take practice and you may stay open for a little bit. Um, just remember, you can always go back to it and you can always get curious by asking yourself, why did I shut down there? What happened there? How can I do something differently so it doesn't happen? It was just 25, as I said that on this clock. And then the third step is accountability, right? Um, it's not about fix yourself, do more, push harder. That's not what it is. It's what are you allowing now? Are you allowing those same people that didn't care so much about your morals um, and was important to you? Are you allowing those people to walk beside you, or are you going to walk by yourself and take your own path and meet people who align with what you want to do, what you want to build, what you care about? What would you rather do, right? So, what are you allowing now? Yeah, what are you choosing to keep? Right? What are the good, right? Because even if those people don't align, it doesn't mean they didn't teach you something. It doesn't mean that that interaction wasn't meant to show you. Maybe it's just teaching you exactly what your worth is, to teach you that you deserve better than that, right? There's some people in your life that just come into your life literally to teach you, you know, you deserve better. Why are you putting up with this? Why are you allowing this to happen? And those lessons, you need to be grateful for every single one of them because they were just the one person that could teach you exactly that. So, even in the heartache, even in the struggles, even in all of the things that go on, when you learn to be thankful, because you are going to come out the other side. Every time you show up and you take that moment for yourself and you get curious and you start to check in the info and you understand, what is this teaching me? How does this make me feel? How can I change this? What is going on? You're being accountable for your own self, right? Just the fact that you show up and you ask those questions, you're already being accountable. You're going to be accountable in this process probably 25 times each time you do this process. And each time you do this process, it's going to go through for every single emotion. The reason I'm focusing so hard on these ones is because these are the uncomfortable ones. We all understand rage, we all understand fear, we all understand anger, we all know there's so much. But what happens is when you're used to a lifetime of that kind of stuff, the kindness is really hard. And that one actually, because it took me so long to understand, and because it was such a hard one for me, that's why I put so much time on focusing on these because uh, it wasn't about being kind because I was kind to everybody all the time. Even when they hurt me, I was kind to them um, because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. But in doing that, I wasn't kind to myself. I was really hurting myself, right? So when you start being kind to yourself and you treat yourself that the way you're treating everybody else a lot of times, what happens is you empower yourself and you start understanding, I don't need to be kind to these people that are mistreating me. That doesn't mean I need to be mean to them or wish bad things on them, but if they're not being good to me, I can just step away and say, hey, I'm going to go over here. I wish you the best over there. There's a big difference, right? And how you handle it is going to be much different than you would say even a month ago, right? Because how you choose to behave depends on what standard you hold yourself to. And you're always going to hold yourself to a higher standard when you believe in your worth. Ocean, good morning or good afternoon now. I've been on here all day. How are you? I hope you're doing good. I love that face. That's cute. Did you have a good Easter? I'm super good. I've been busy, busy, busy. Uh, but I'm going to be on pretty much all week just to play catch up on the things that I've been building. Um, I'll be on pretty much all week live. But I promise, in the time that I was gone, I was a busy little bee. Always staying busy. I'm so good. I hope you had a fantastic Easter. I haven't been by in a while either. I need to, you know what? I got to write it down. Where's my thing? Because I have a list of people that I tried to get through to go, and I have not been by to you in a while. When I tell you, I literally write the list of the people, and then, but you are definitely one of them. 723. Because what I'm doing is, before I would do it, I'd stop in and I'd do a couple of videos. But I think what I'm starting to do is I'm going through. So make sure you have a long playlist. They're doing really good. I'm good. I love that I get to see you. Oh, that's fantastic. That makes me happy. I'm glad that people are actually happy to see me. That makes me feel good. But it's not about that. It's about I see what I didn't understand, and I learned this. We were talking about it earlier. Um, I thought, well, when you help people get to monetization, just focus on the ones trying to get monetized because they're monetized. They you don't need to worry about it. So that's how I was kind of doing it. Okay, go do 2 hours there, go do 2 hours there. And I thought that it was helpful. And I'm sure it wasn't not helpful, but um, I didn't understand that once they have monetization, they still have a threshold and all kinds of stuff. So I've learned a lot in the last month. Um, so I'm changing things accordingly. And the way that I go through, um, again, it's just like anything, the learning curve, you have to learn it. But if you have a long playlist, put it on there. I will run them through. Um, and I got to figure it out. I got a system set up now. I the way I have to figure things out sometimes, but I'm honest about it. And as I go, we figure it out. But on my list of things, because I would go and I was focusing on so many other people that were not monetized and trying to get them over their watch hours. But now I'm like, well, but that leaves out the people that I actually want to go see and go do it. So now I'm just writing down the list and I'm going down the list and I'm gonna do two at a time and I'm gonna run through their big playlist. So create a big like watch hour playlist and I will run it. I know I didn't either, and I've been learning trial and error. I've been really learning it, and then I was told you can only watch 20 hours, and I'm like, well, that makes no sense because some of the um, lives are like 8 hours. So I'm just running them through. I don't. I guess I'll find out the hard way if that doesn't work. But like the overnight ones, I add them to my playlist. What do you mean? I can only listen to it once? That makes no sense. What if I want to listen to it every day if it's on my nightly playlist? That's where I am too. Like, really, truly, that's where I am. And I try to go to the lives whenever I can. I try to pop in. It just gets so busy. I would try. The only thing that struggles with me on this is creating a schedule because me, it's like, uh, if I know this time I have to do this, this time I have to do that, this is the time I have to do this, I'm good. I can figure it out. But when I'm busy and I got to do this and this and this and run this and do this, then I get all kinds of crazy and I get really off schedule. And if I focus on one thing, I let them off. So I finally made this boundary when I'm working through the day after 6 p.m. Then I can start running playlists and stuff in the background. But in the morning, when I get up until once I get Grace to school until 6 p.m., I cannot be running playlists or doing any of the things or showing up to people's lives except on the weekends. But through the week, I've literally had to set that boundary. And if I do that and then I keep them running in the evening, we're good. But it took me a while to get there because I was like, man, yeah. Well, I'm a single mom and I'm starting my business and I'm doing my workshops and my one-on-one coaching and I'm doing my group sessions and I'm doing my free workshops and then I'm doing my content and running my business and my child. So, and then I have to clean my house and do all this stuff because unfortunately nobody does that for me. So sometimes it gets pretty chaotic, but uh, I wouldn't have it any other way. Truly, I wouldn't. But it's a little easier when you can figure out a kind of a not a set schedule, but a plan of action of getting there. Oh yeah, I know that. And I don't do it for support, for like support for support. I just do it because I genuinely like the people that I follow, and I'm interested in what they do, and I really do want to go and check it out. Um, and I did. I had to go through a phase because there was a guilt phase, and I'm not doing enough, and I should be doing this. And I think I found that balance. So, and again, it's just like anything else, just like YouTube. I was off for most of the time when my daughter was home, and I was really feeling guilty, like I need to get it done. And I was like, no, like this is me. The whole thing about it, um, when I all of the things that I teach, it always comes back to balance. But I'm teaching it, and then when I find the balance coming out of my own life, the idea is that each time I know how to come back to the balance. And the cool thing is that each time it happens, I am finding my way back to the balance. Um, because when we really look at, and any of the stuff that I teach here, when you look at it, there's always going to be the extreme on either end of the section. And I'm literally walking proof every single day that even when things go way out of whack, it's very easy to bring them back in. When you just check in with yourself, what is it teaching me? What has to go? What is the priority? What has to slide? And when things are sliding, where do I fit in that priority list, right? Because if I'm at the bottom, yeah, well, I found it for this week, and it may be a whole nother one next week, right? But I'm starting to understand that it's our capacity, and that does change every single day. And the idea is that when you can check in with yourself and understand that capacity, you really do create space for yourself, which, by the way, is a radical act of self love. Um, and the more people that start understanding that, the better off we'll all be. I, I found my balance for now. It's going to change because, school's going to be out for the summer, and then kiddo's going to be home, and it's going to be chaotic. It's always going to change. And the idea is that every single day, as long as I show up and I'm doing something towards my goal, then we're doing good. As long as I'm still having these connections where I get to see people like you, I get to have these conversations, I get to learn something new, I get to share something new, then I feel good about myself. I feel like I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. So there's always balance in there somewhere, even when the balance is way off. There's something that you can always bring back into balance. So, and I really like that. That's like it's like that lesson that I kind of already know, but I actively, it's like the what if this, what if that. Well, I'm literally walking all the what ifs, and it's still um, bringing it back to balance each time. So it's kind of cool because it's like when, you know, what's the best way to explain it? Like when I can't do that because this happened, or this, or this, or this. There's always a million excuses. Well, I literally, my whole life is a walking, well, this happens and this happens and this happens. And learning what to prioritize and what has to go, and then bringing it back into balance because you're just reincorporating everything. Um, you're just, it's like Jenga, right? Move this, put it over here. You're bringing it back into balance. But I'm like walking proof of no matter what happens, there's always a way to bring it back into balance, and that's pretty cool. It's funny, like it's laughable, but it's actually true. Like because everything that I teach, every single time when I'm teaching it, you can go back and look and see, like, even when things get out of balance, it always comes back in. And if it always comes back in, what does that mean? That means I know the process. I understand how to do it. I understand how to check in. I understand what I need to do, which means every single time I can bring it back in. And that's what I'm trying to teach when I teach these things that I teach is uh, once you know the system, once you know how to put it to use in your life, to check it, to give, take, it's always going to be a push and pull. But when you understand the system, the process, and how it works, you can come back to it every single time, which is pretty cool, actually. And that's uh, my system. I say it with air quotes because this what worked for me, and it's not going to be perfect work for everyone else. But what it does is it gives you the tools, and you may use this tool over here and that tool over there. and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And that's how I learned. So, and I learned, and it was a little messier. All I'm doing is kind of lining it up a little bit, making it a little easier to understand, and giving a few of those tools along the way that you can put in your own tool belt. And if I can help people do that just a little bit, then we're all better off, right? Yeah. And this is the yucky. It's not yucky, but the kindness that breaks you open was last week, and that was where it's really feeling vulnerable and understanding what it is, and what that means. But now this is like the light in the cracks. This is that moment, and it's right before. Um, it's where you're releasing all this stuff, but it's also right before your empowerment. It's right before that fire becomes creation, right? And that's the next one. But this is that moment where when you release all of that yucky and all of that stuff, and you allow all that light in, all that kindness to yourself, kindness from others, all that love. You know what else comes in? All the ideas from God, all the suggestions, all those sparks of inspiration, those creative ideas, all those things, they also start filling in. Yeah. And that's like next week. Well, it's probably going to be tomorrow because I'm a week behind. Uh, but the next one is the fire becomes creation, because as you've let all, you couldn't fill it with ideas and all that stuff because it was filled with shame, guilt, fear, all of those other things. When you learn to release that, and that kindness that cracked you open, yeah, it cracked you open, but and it felt gross, and that's where a lot of people self-sabotage. When I talk about this, it's because when you can sit with it and understand and figure out what the information is teaching you, and sometimes you have to just quietly sit with it. There's nothing else you can do. uh, but what it does is allows your brain to process, to let go. I don't need to think that anymore. I'm clearly worth it, so I don't need to allow this or allow that anymore. And you do your own processing of what's okay and what's not, even if you're not always constantly thinking about it. Your body, your heart, your mind are doing it in the background. And then when it comes time to advocate for yourself, you just are like, I'm not doing that again. No, thank you. Right. But you're not doing it in a cruel way. You're doing it from a place of compassion. And then when you're doing the accountability part of it, what is the next step? You already chose your next step when you chose to sit with it, right? There's always going to be another action step. But the fact that you chose to sit with it and allow it in through those steps, that space, that quiet, you're literally building a ball of fire, power of energy, ideas, spark of information. You're learning how to trust your gut, right? There's a lot of things. Uh, what are you allowing now? These are these questions, right? Are you allowing people to treat you bad? No, of course not, right? You're not going to allow it anymore. Are you allowing yourself to treat you bad? No. We're not going to talk down to ourselves anymore. When things happen, oh, you're so stupid. Why would you do that? How many times you talk to yourself like that? Like many people do it all the time, and you don't think about it. Well, now instead of when that happens, oh, you're so stupid. No, I'm not stupid. It's a learning curve, and I had to learn, I had to understand, and I'm going to figure it out. You're catching yourself, you're making those changes. What are you choosing to keep? You're choosing to keep, I'm going to figure it out. The good. What did I learn? Right? You're understanding that processing, that stuff that's going on. They're simple things, but they take a lot of internal work, a lot. And so when you do make these decisions, that light in the crack is allowing you're making those decisions, you're getting rid of the you're so stupid and this isn't okay and you're not worth it, and you're saying, I'm going to be kind to myself, just like God was, just like that random stranger was who showed up with kindness, and I don't know how to take it, and I'm not sure, but if they could do that, they must see value in me. How come I can't see value in me? Right now those questions come up, you're doing those processing, you start to see that value. I promise you, it's going to go up exponentially every time you show up and do that. Pardon me. And then it's going to say, what are you choosing to release? So I don't choke here. Sorry. What are you choosing to release? Obviously, the negativity. You don't want to keep that. And when you release that, what do you make room for? Great ideas. You make room for those inspiration, those creations, art, teachings. Holy hell. I'm going to choke to death before then, but we'll get there. I made my eye water. I don't know what that was. But when you choose to release that, you make room for that. And that's what comes in those ideas, the creation. And now that you can see it, what do you want to do with it? Right? That's the accountability step. What do you want to do with it? And that's when it goes into the fire becomes creation, which we'll be talking about probably tomorrow. But the idea is the alchemy of motion. Now that you've understood the information, what is it showing me? Giving yourself the grace to allow it to process it, to understand, to be reasonable, and give space for yourself. What is my actionable next step? When you start doing that, and yes, you're going to go through this process a million times for every little thing. The idea is when you do it, you get so good at it, you just take a breath. uh, oh, I feel like this. Okay, something's off. I don't feel good in my body. Something doesn't feel good. Is it not feeling good because it's supposed to not feel good? Or is it not feeling good because it's uncomfortable and I'm not used to it? Is this coming from a trigger, from pain, from trauma? Is this coming from something programmed, or is this coming from this is how I actually feel? Um, and where is that leading me? That is an entire process, right? And when you get through that process, you understand how to let things go and you understand how to move forward with that. And you understand when moving forward means you have to sit with yourself just a little bit longer. And that happens a lot of times in grief. Okay, especially when you've lost someone you care about, someone, something you work so hard for. That grief is a hard one, right? And it comes back and it comes back in waves because there's a lot of things it's trying to teach you. It's trying to see the good with the bad, and it takes a long time. And those ones are very, very hard. It's probably the hardest one you're ever going to have to process. And learning how to do that and giving that space for yourself also teaches you to give that space for others. Um, you learn what to release. You understand the next step. You learn the process. And when you trust the process, you trust yourself. When you trust yourself, those steps become very clear because they're not coming from the filter of punishment, the filter of some programming that happened before. They're not coming from trauma because you've already sorted through it. You've already peeled it back. You've already got the question of what it is. You gave yourself that grace. You allowed yourself to be angry, upset, fearful, whatever it may be. You allowed yourself space for that. Then you got to work. Why am I scared of this? What is it showing me? What is the information? How do I make a change? You know the process. You've done it over and over and over. And now you take the breath and you're like, hey, I understand. This something feels not right. What's step one? What's my first go to? How do I go from there? Right? You know the process. You know how to give yourself that space to take the breath. And that's what I'm trying to teach everybody. So, um, when you open, you let the light in, right? You open, that's kindness, right? You're giving yourself kindness. You're learning how to receive it. And many times people don't know how to receive. You know how to give, you know how to be taken from, you know how to give. But when it's time to receive, you just you don't know how to do it, right? And you don't know how to do it because you never had it, right? It's not something you got often. So when it happens like that, you have to teach yourself how to do it. Just like you had to teach yourself to walk, you had to teach yourself to eat, to sleep. You know, everything you had to learn, you had to teach yourself, right? Someone had to teach you, you had to learn. It's the same thing with learning how to receive. And that kindness it matters. And then when you allowed, right? You gave yourself grace. You allowed yourself to receive. You allowed yourself to understand. And receiving can also just mean receiving the information. You allowed yourself to receive the kindness. You allowed yourself to take the knowledge, the wisdom, the information that is trying to teach you. That is receiving. When you start understanding that, that receiving doesn't always have to be gifts and money and all those things. But when people hear that, a lot of times that's what they first think of. But when someone shares wisdom with you, when someone comes and helps you, uh, like Work Play Live came on for the creator launch app. It's amazing. I'm so stoked for this. But uh, there's a learning curve. There's lots of things to learn. Lots of it's going to be just playing with it. Lots of it's going to be asking questions. But you know, he showed up and said, "Hey, let me help you with this. Let me walk you through it." You know, when someone shows up with that kind of kindness and shows up with that amount of grace and says, "I understand that it might be a little tricky. It might be some things that you don't know. So I'm here and I want to help you." That's the same thing. But if I had said, "No, I'll figure it out on my own, whatever," they're going to be like, "Okay, whatever," right? Like you're pushing that away. But instead of taking that moment and saying, "Yes, thank you. Thank you for showing up and helping me." Learning how to receive it's a two-way street, right? And in that receiving, him showing up and doing that also was receiving feedback, receiving how to make it easier for people because not everybody's a tech genius, right? And that two-way street is the same thing in every single thing you do, right? When you're giving, you can give all the time, but learning how to receive, just because it doesn't come in every single thing. As soon as someone says receive, they're thinking a free something, gift. Somebody has to buy you something financially. It's not. Wisdom, knowledge, kindness, sincerity, generosity. It's not always tied to just one thing. But when you're giving and what, because you give this way usually all the time, doesn't mean you have to receive this way. You're going to receive in so many other ways. But once you learn how to do it, that it flows. It constantly flows. The ideas come to your brain. Those flashes, that's the universe saying, "Oh, you're ready to receive. Okay, I see you. You've been giving, giving, giving. Now you opened up the door to receive." Now those inspirations, those ideas, that's where my programs come in. When I tell you my 12-week program for my coaching, that's the group coaching, but it's so custom. It's so good. Like it's um, yes, we're teaching in a group, so we're teaching stuff like this, how to apply it in everyday life. But it's also so customized. I want to say homework, but it's not homework. You get your emails and there's that constant clarification. You get the ideas so that you're coming with the questions that are actually going to help you. They're actually going to show up for you in your life, how we can apply it in your life, which is why I limit it. I won't do any more than 12. 12 is the magic number, um, so that no matter what, throughout that 12 weeks, everybody gets their turn, everybody gets their space, and everybody's going to have clarity at the end of the path. And I did that really important for that, right? And when you learn how to do it, this process, it takes time and it's going to have questions and there's going to be things. Um, just like anything is a learning curve. But in doing that, we're all teaching each other. And when we start learning that and opening to receive, the way things come in and the way things that are so helpful when you're gracious enough to receive it, um, it creates that space for you and it gives you the ideas and it allows you the space to move forward. And that's why it's like, what are you choosing to keep? What are you choosing to release? Well, obviously, what do you want to release? The negativity and all that crap. You ain't got room for it because you're too busy filling out with ideas and ways you can help yourself and other people, ways you can share the joy and the love, right? So like I mean, there's no question. There's never going to be a question. Of course, get rid. I don't. I always have this thing that says, always forget. I always remember kindnesses. I never forget, and I forget injuries, right? If there's anything I want to remember, it's the kindnesses. I don't like, yes, we have to learn from the injuries, but we don't have to hold on to the feeling. We know it happened, whatever. Learn for it, hold on. It was a kindness because it taught me to be stronger, better, more efficient, more critical in the way I think, how I process it. It showed me the pattern. There's always something benefit, right? I always choose to see the silver lining in every way. And if I can teach more people that, then they're going to become more self-aware. And when you're more self-aware, you're more empowered. You know how to learn. You teach yourself how to learn. You learn better. And it doesn't, there's no better or worse. It's what works for you. But once you learn how you learn, right? you can take in anything and you can do it in anything that you do. And it's so wild because whatever matters to you, when you learn how you work, your patterns, your triggers, your all those things about you, you know how to take it in. You know how you're going to store it. You know how you're going to share it. Um, and it's such a big thing. And if more people understood that, this world would be a way better place. So, movement doesn't always mean action right away. Sometimes movement is just allowing something to pass through that emotion that isn't yours, that emotion that you think you should have because that's what the whole world tells you should have. No, it doesn't matter. It's how you feel, is what you think you should have. And are you putting an expectation on you that is maybe just a little out there, a little much? Sorry, I got to keep an eye on the time. And then, so these are some of the tools. I kind of broke them down already, but I want to go. Hopefully, these will be helpful. Notice shift, right? Like when it shifts, you notice it, right? What am I feeling? Like immediately when something feels out of whack, it doesn't even matter whether it's kindness, anger, fear. This is just the tool, and you're going to apply it in each instance whenever these things happen, if that makes sense. So you're going to ask yourself, what am I feeling? Right? What is it? Can I name it? Because sometimes you can't even name it. So it may take a little minute to spend time naming it. But guess what happens? When you take that time to name it, you're forced to pause. Because if you don't know what it is and you got to pause, so say you're feeling angry and you're really angry in this moment, but you're like, what am I feeling? Right? Well, you're trying to figure out what it is, you immediately go from anger to curiosity, right? Because you're teaching yourself. So if I can get you out of anger, rage, all of those things to what is this I'm feeling? Where do I feel it? Where in my body do I feel it? Is it in my shoulders? Do I feel pain here? Am I feeling nauseous, sick to my stomach? Is my brain starting to hurt? Is my eye starting to twitch? Where am I feeling it? And what is it trying to show me? That is a tool. What, where, why? Why is always going to be a thing. And don't get stuck on the why because I've done that too. Sometimes there's some things out there that you're just not meant to know, or it's not worth you hindering your whole life. But if it's about you and your own personal accountability, there's always a reason to know. But when you get stuck on the why would somebody else do that, sometimes you have to just leave it at we can't know everything because when you trust me, I've got caught on the whys all the time. But when you know your own why, you can be personally accountable and you can do something to change that, right? So we're not here to fix, right? We're just getting curious, and that is the tool, right? We want to notice the shift. Um, what am I feeling? Where do I feel it? And what is it trying to show me? And that is essentially the pause, right? That is that pause. But the pause can't just be take a breath. Take a breath, get curious. How am I feeling? What is going on? And that gives you space. It gives you space to breathe. It gives you space to understand, to process, because you've already been learning all the other stuff. So when we get to this space, this tool becomes exactly that, and you're doing it as fast as you are breathing, pretty much, right? And yes, it takes practice, but I promise you. And sometimes that's why I talk about the journaling. You don't have to always just um, what is it? And then you're trying to write it down and your brain's going faster and you get lost in the sauce because you missed what it was because you're too busy trying to get everything right and spelling mistakes. Get out your voice recorder on your phone. Get out your Google Word docs, whatever it is, voice recorder, and spew it out. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever it is, right? Ask yourself those questions and spew out the answers. Okay, and yes, it's gonna look like crap. It's gonna, especially if you do voice to text, it's gonna give you a laugh in the end too because voice to text is evil. But it'll teach you to kind of laugh at yourself a little bit. But when you go back and you read through it, because in the initial anxiety or whatever it is in trying to get it down, when you allow yourself that, when you do that, is the space. You allow yourself space to just say it. But when you go through and read it, most it's like, oh yeah, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Because you were upset or you were um, in anxiety in that moment, right? This tool is teaching you how to reflect it. So if you can't write it fast enough, don't let that be your disaster or your downfall. Record yourself, then go back and read it or go back and listen. Because literally your brain will go disregard, disregard, not important, doesn't matter. Whoa, what's that? And that's, I'm telling you, every single time it will happen. Whoa, what's that? And when you do that, okay, where does that come from? Why was I feeling that? Where did I feel that in my body when that's happening? Is that when my eye was twitching? You know, what is that telling me? That tool is such a huge thing when used properly, and it doesn't matter um, what of the emotions of any of them. When you can just use that tool at any given time, it's going to benefit you because there's always going to help you get the answer. And then the pause, obviously, the pause is the initial before the shift, but it happens in so many different stages, right? Um, the pause is motion, right? Sometimes it's, you know, walk around the block, get up and walk around the table, get up and go to the dish sink, go sit in the washroom for 2 minutes and take a breather. It doesn't matter. You just pause. Don't react. The idea is that we never want to react. We want to respond. When we respond, we're responding from a place of clarity. We're not responding because we want to get even with you or because we're angry and we want to hurt you first. We're not, you know, when you respond instead of react, you can trust that that response was um, thought out. It was from clarity, and it was with the best intention. Right? When we react, most times that's when we feel that guilt, fear, shame, because we didn't do it the way we were hoping. Right? Um, that pause can literally save lives. And then pause before judging. Are you like looking at somebody, oh, why are they walking down the street that way? Why are they this? Our brains are always going to do that. Okay, it's going to happen. And instead of judging yourself for it, what happens is that's a programming, right? That's what happens through TV and commercials and all of the things, stereotypes, all the things we've learned. It's going to happen. That pops in your brain. Don't punish yourself for it. Laugh at yourself. Be like, well, that's just silly. Why does it matter to me how that guy's walking down the street, right? Uh, but instead of beating yourself up over it, understand that that's something that's been programmed into you for years and years and years. Don't punish yourself. Just literally pause. Well, like you're judging that. Okay, so why am I judging that? Maybe we shouldn't do that, right? Have a little laugh, being like, that's just silly, right? But you learn to let it go, right? Um, you're not spewing it out. You're not judging that person. It's always going to come to your mind. Things that happen is because it comes to your brain to show you that that's a programming that needs to be let go of. And when you start checking and understanding what those pauses mean, there's so much information in them, but you don't get to understand it until you actually take the time to sit with it. And then, of course, pause before filling the space. This light in the cracks, right? Um, you're emptying. That light is pushing. It's clearing out that whole space, that block where everything you've been closed down and not wanting to take in. Well, what happens? That light comes through and is pushing out all that negativity and that vulnerable space, that space that feels uncomfortable. There's a lot of processing. There's a lot of noticing the shift. There's a lot of these things happening in the background, even without you doing the actual forefront work, which you still want to be able to do it, right? This is why I'm teaching you. So you can notice it. And in those pauses, you can say, this is already going on in the background. But what about here? How can I help it along? How can I process this? How can I empower myself to be part of the solution? Because I don't care what the problem is. You can complain about something all day long. You can hate it, not like it. But if you're not coming with a solution, you're part of the problem, right? And that doesn't mean we have to have the answer, but is there something I can do in my life that can help here? Is there a way that I can hold myself and live my life accordingly um, that can be helpful or a positive part of the solution? That's what I mean by that. And it's very possible. And these little changes that we're making are part of the solution. And every time you choose to make these choices or to try these tools, you're part of the solution, which is very empowering. And the more you empower yourself, you know what happens? You do it. You show up. You be accountable. You're going to because you believe in it, right? And you believe in you. And each time it just makes you more and more accountable. So pause before filling the space because if you let it and sit with it and understand it and learn what each part of the process is, you allow space. You allow those bright ideas, that beautiful scenery to get caught in your mind so you can paint it. Whatever it is, you allow space for it, right? Don't fill it. And then let it move. Okay, examples: cry, breathe, walk, sit in silence, go sit by a tree, you know, I have a rebounder, the little trampoline. You're angry or whatever, go jump on it for a few minutes. Go move, get up and move your body. Because those emotions, whatever it is, when it feels uncomfortable, you don't have to think and overthink. But when you get it, if you're someone like me that would get trapped in those overthinking, because I want to understand the why, the this, the that, which is, it's great to know and learn, but you can get caught in those loops, right? So what happens? You get up and you change the energy. It can be as simple as I'm sitting here talking to you, and then I start tapping my hand. We tap our forehead. We sit here. We drum our desk. Okay, it's just about creating movement and something different. Okay, you're starting to feel angry. Oh, look at the sun in the sky. And sometimes it's called sidestepping, which I have to use with my daughter a lot of times when she becomes overwhelmed. We're not ignoring it, we're not putting it away, but in the moment of the aggression, in the moment of the feeling overwhelmed, when we sidestep just enough, it allows us that space to breathe. Then we can notice the shift and we can pause for the shift, and then we can decide what action we want to do. Sometimes it is just cry. Sometimes it is breathe. Sometimes it's going to scream in the bathroom for 5 minutes because you're so frustrated. Uh, try not to scare the neighbors too much, but sometimes it's laughing at yourself. Why am I being so serious over this? Why am I hindering myself when I know that I'm just going to try again? It's all I can do is try again. So am I going to beat myself up or am I going to celebrate where I actually got to? Right? There's a tool. It's an actual tool. And the more we do that and we start celebrating those things, the more we start using them. Not everything needs to be solved. Some things just need to be released. People that don't align, people that are going to mistreat you, or my favorite are the ones that are, I don't, they're committed to misunderstanding you. So no matter what you do, no matter what you say, uh, they're going to misunderstand you. They're going to take it the wrong way. They're going to do all of the things. Well, do you want to hold on to that? Do you want that in your life? Do you want to have to constantly fight to explain what you're trying to say for no reason, but because you have to prove something to somebody? Or do you want to stand in your own divine authority? Do you want to stand in your own power and say, no, uh, not everything aligns. Some things need to be released, and you just might happen to be something that has to be released. And when you learn to do it, you're not doing it out of negativity. You're not doing it because you wish hell on them. You wish bad. It doesn't align, and I don't have the energy for that. Learning how to release things with love, with peace, comes from understanding your own clarity and giving yourself compassion. And that's what's so important about these tools because when we understand how to process and use them, um, we don't feel bad. There's no guilt, fear, or shame that goes with it because we didn't do anything wrong. We didn't do anything trying to hinder someone. We're not doing. There's no resentment. There's no anger. There's no nothing. It just doesn't align. It doesn't feel good, and I don't want to constantly deal with that. And I'm not saying what you're doing is bad. It does not feel good for me. So for me to just let you go on your way and me to go on mine, um, is personal empowerment. Where you learn how to advocate for yourself. That's these tools will teach you more than you could ever possibly imagine. Okay, so understanding not everything needs to be solved. Some things need to be released. And then tool 4: choose what stays. Does this belief stay? Does this pattern stay? Does this reaction stay? These are really important ones because when you can recognize the pattern, uh, is it a good pattern? And sometimes it is a good pattern, right? If it's a good pattern, but this somewhere here along the pattern, there is a pivot and it goes from really good to really bad. Okay, where on the pattern is it? What can I do to pivot to get it stay good, right? And it's simple things, but you're gonna have to notice it. You're gonna use these tools 10,000 times a day when life is lifing, right? And the idea is that if one of these questions, if one of these suggestions stay and it piques your interest in that moment when that anger comes up, when that fear comes up, when that kindness, that overwhelming thing that you don't really understand how it feels comes up, and this is what comes into your brain, then I've done my job. And I promise you, when it does, you're going to come back to it and be like, holy hell, that worked. I can't believe that that worked, but it worked. How do I learn more? And that's why I have the things that I've come up with, the programs and all that. I've been doing this. I've walked through this so many times. I could tell you blindfolded. Um, just like how Work Play Live could tell you about his app and all of the things and every little thing, backwards, forwards, blindfolded. Uh, just like they could explain to you exactly how it works, step by step by step by step. It's the same way I can tell you because I've been through this forward, backwards, through the mud, backflip, somersault, blindfolded, and over again. And these are the ones they work every single time, not some of the time, not half the time, every single time. You can always come back to it, and that's what's really important. So, um, these are just like simple examples. Kindness made you cry. Uh, you just realized you weren't used to softness. Like it's so simple, right? Uh, it's okay to cry. You don't have to be sad or uncomfortable because you cried. You weren't used to softness. So what needs to change in that, right? Maybe I need to be a little softer to myself. I need to learn to receive. I need to, you know, start showing up a little differently because if that made me cry, I'm not getting enough of it. And if I'm not getting enough of it, why? Because I should be the first step for my own kindness. Me showing up, looking in the mirror, saying, God, you're beautiful today. God, I love you, and you're worth everything in this world. And you're strong, and you're compassionate, and you're powerful, and you're creative, and you're going to do all of the things in this world. You should be hearing it so much from yourself that you don't even bat an eyelash. But if you can't fill your own cup with your kindness, every single time some random person does it for you, it's going to break your heart right to your soul. So, how do you integrate that? Start showing up. That made you cry. What action can I do? Start loving myself. Do those extra bubble baths. Do that little thing. If going out and getting your nails done, it's not always about spending money, but sometimes, you want to go get your nails done and you want to do something nice. You want to go have a facial. You want to take 20 minutes to yourself. You want to start an exercise routine. That is kindness to yourself. Giving yourself grace in these moments is a radical act of self love, right? You weren't used to softness. Okay, so how do you change that? You give it to yourself, you fill your cup first. Then you don't need to rely on anybody else to do it. And when someone does it, you know how to receive it because you're always giving and now you're able to receive because you're learning how to give it to yourself and you're always giving it to others. That's something you've been doing your whole life. That's never going to change. That's who you are. And it's the most beautiful part of who you are. So do that. But keep that cycle going and be open to receive. And if it's uncomfortable to receive, give it to yourself first. Show up every single time. That's a prime example. The space feels empty. It feels uncomfortable. Now you want to fill it, right? Because you don't know what to do. Start getting used to that void. Sit in that void. Give yourself time. Okay, it's because it's uncomfortable. So how do you get used to things that are uncomfortable? You keep doing them. Just like you step out of your comfort zone, right? You do it scared. You show up. You do it messy. These lives, sometimes I come on and they're an hour and it's done. And sometimes I get to talk to you guys and they go left and it just happens the way it happens, right? Um, and it can be uncomfortable if you're not sure what's going to happen. But if you learn to just trust and say, no matter what, it's going to be happy, there's going to be good things learned, good things shared. And of course, you get to talk to great people. So that uncomfortable isn't being filled. You're allowing that empty space. You're allowing that space to see what's going to happen. And when you start doing it like that, the curiosity, the excitement for the adventure fills that space instead of fear and uncomfortable and shame and all those things. The silence feels uncomfortable. You want distraction, right? You want to put on your earplugs and put on some music or do this, right? So you can distract your brain so you don't need to think about it. So, what are some things you can do to uh, confront that, to change that, right? If that's what you know, you always need distraction. So, maybe put your phone away and like put in your bag. Don't listen to anything for 20-minute drive of the day or like create time. I'm going to take 20 minutes today while I eat my lunch and I'm going to sit here and I'm not going to have any screen time. I'm not going to have anything. And I'm just going to sit here in peace and I'm going to focus on what each flavor of whatever it is I'm eating, I'm going to focus on that. Um, those things, you get used to it and you start making that time for that, and it empowers you. It empowers you to such a space that um, when those ideas come, you're ready to jump on them. You can think about them immediately, you can do them, and this stuff starts happening so often that as fast as you can go, get your body moving, get your actions happening, those ideas are coming. Like there are times when I start doing things and my ideas go, I can't even get them down fast enough. Even I can't even spit them out fast enough. My brain goes so fast, I'm like, whoa, back it up, because I can't get it out fast enough. My whole mouth will be like, what am I trying to say right now? Because you know what it is, but you have to actually reel yourself in because you get so many in a day. It's because you've learned how to do the process and you understand. And so you're already processing, yeah, that's not good. Don't want to keep it. Don't want to keep it. Whoa, that's good. Where'd that one come from? Oh my God. And it becomes that a constant thing because you're trusting in yourself, because you believe in yourself, because your worth has gone up exponentially in your own mind, because to everyone else, to the world, to God, you're already priceless. But you need to start seeing yourself that same way. And when you start doing these things, that radical act of self love will change every single thing you do. All right. So that discomfort, it isn't failure, it's unfamiliar safety. And when you haven't been safe and understood that for so long, it's going to be uncomfortable. And then we want to normalize the process. This stuff that I'm telling you, these tools, these things, if I can normalize it and you can say, oh, yeah, I see that. I understand that. Yeah, she said that and it worked that time. Oh, wait, it worked this time too. Oh, shit, I feel better now. That one worked too. She knows what she's talking about because I've had to go through it 500 million times. You might open and close again. You might feel good, then overwhelmed. You might not know what to do next. Okay, it's not linear, it's layered. These tools are that you can take them with you and use them whenever you need them, right? And when you understand the layers and you use that tool and it worked for here, but now you feel stuck back here in this other layer, okay, start with the tools. What part of these tools that I have can I use on this layer? What is it that I need and how can I use that to empower? Do I need to give myself grace? Do I need to notice? Do I need more information? Do I need to just do the next step? You're not going to know until you pause with it, right? So always give yourself that space, whatever it is. And then the kindness cracked you open, okay? Light came through the cracks. That's where we're here now. And now you get to decide what grows there. And that's what is next week. That's the fire becomes creation. And it's pretty exciting. So there's a couple questions. These are my favorite reflection questions. There's always going to be reflection questions. If you haven't noticed, every step of the way, there's some, but these ones are very simple and they're very easy to understand. And hopefully, I don't run out of time here. I got to keep an eye on the time. Um, what feels different now that you've opened, right? Do you feel raw? Do you feel soft? Do you feel uncomfortable? Uh, do you feel a little more empowered? Because when you ask the question a couple different times, once you've sat with it for a moment, it changes. And you could literally ask that question, and 5 minutes later, and sitting in that uncomfortable situation, 5 minutes later, it could change. It's so wild. And once you start to notice that change, wow, I do feel a little bit better. I feel a little more empowered. I feel lighter, right? The way things come, when you start noticing that, that awareness is going to be your key to everything in this world. What are you ready to release? I already asked that one, but when you can release all that negativity, guess what happens? When you release it through those cracks, you make room to fill it up with something else. What are you not ready to fill yet? Is there space you're holding for someone? Uh, is there still grief that you're holding on to? And that's okay because sometimes that takes time. Allowing yourself that space, it's okay. I'm not ready to fill that up yet. Okay, so we're going to leave that little corner there for now and we'll come back to it because there might be a couple lessons, a couple things that you need to learn on the way uh, that are going to empower you so that you can deal with it, right? So you can deal with it in a better way. And learning to give yourself that grace is just as important. And then what are you learning to allow? We're not trying to force anything. We're not pushing anything. We're just learning how to allow it. We're giving that space to see the good, the bad, the ugly, and understand that it all matters. Every little bit of it. It's all teaching you something. And then making space doesn't mean you have to fill it. It means you finally allow yourself to feel what's been waiting, right? It's been waiting to be felt. And I'm just gonna pull three cards. I only do three at the end because I always love um, when spirit confirms my message, right? Because no matter what we talk about here, the fact that you show up, the fact that you listen, the fact that you're even curious about learning how to use these tools, how to understand them, is a radical act of self love. And when we start understanding these things and trusting that these little messages that come in our lives, these people that show up with this little thing, even when it sounds silly at first, it'll come. Something will happen. This one time, something will happen. And you're going to remember that one thing that I said, and you're going to be like, you're going to try it. And you're going to be like, whoa, that really made a difference. And it's going to be that one time you desperately needed it. And you know why? Because God knew you were going to need it. God knew that if you just picked up that one little sentence, those two little sentences of whatever I was talking about that day, it was going to save you. It was going to protect you in the end. It was going to help you. And that's how this matters. And that's why when people pop in and out, if they get a 2 minute message, if they get one sentence, one question that helps, I promise you they're going to come back for more because they're going to recognize it's the truth, right? God didn't send me all this stuff. God didn't teach me these lessons to not know that they work, right? So no matter how much, this is the card, sorry. No matter how much falls on us, we keep plowing ahead. That's the only way to keep the roads clear. And it's true. Think of a time recently when you have pushed on, be it through exhaustion or obstacles. Find contentment in your strength. Every single time you show up, even if you do it messy, even if you do it when you're uncertain, okay, you're going to keep plowing through. We screw up, we check ourselves. Can I do something better next time? Can I do this? Is there a better way? Did I do it at my best? No. Could I have done better? Yes. But did I do better than last time? Absolutely. Celebrate it. No matter what, we're always moving forward. But do we want to move forward in guilt, fear, shame, or anger? Or do we want to move forward in strength, empowerment, love, compassion, happiness, joy? Joy because we actually did something different. We made a different choice. We did a different action. And what happened? Something different happened. Something much better. It's definitely better than 1, 2, 3, 3, 2. Thank you. Thank you. That is its power, its empowerment. And each step of the way is just one step closer. We're on this journey and we're going to learn good, the bad, the ugly, and everything we do. And when we learn how to put it to use and apply it in our lives every single day, I just knew it was going to come out. This is She the Lotus. I friggin' knew it. Like, I absolutely knew this was going to come out. This is a good one. Also, angel number 43. If you like doing homework, go look it up. Those little nagging questions uh, that have been should I, shouldn't I, whatever's going on in the back of your brain, go look up angel number 43. There'll be something there that answers that question for you. All right. This one is shadow work, addressing dissonance, seeing downfalls as the flip side of superpowers, loving yourself back to wholeness, the beautiful lotus that grows from murky waters, disempowering triggers, bringing the light into your dark corners. If I this couldn't be more on point, and I just saw this one in my brain. Um, Originally, the title for this oracle deck was going to be The Language of Light. It was not actualized in that incarnation, as other layers of meaning needed to be honored. The fuller spectrum I was guided to bring through also included the shadow. In hindsight, choosing to deepen the message of balance that the Lemurians were bringing forth through this work meant I had to experience my shadow. My shadow encounters brought light into nooks I didn't know I had. If there is a way to fast track your growth, it is by being real with the shadowy or unloved parts of ourselves. There was a time when the concepts of shadow work and self love seemed relevant, but I was vague as to what they really meant. I knew the next part of my journey was exploring them, but how that would happen was quite mystifying. The shadow and self love are big topics to unpack, and unraveling them took me on quite an adventure. Unfortunately, I thought shadow work was about digging up as many issues as possible, and that being present with them meant wallowing in them. Without tools for expanded awareness, I found myself drowning deeper in the upset of it all and creating more of it in the process. My journey for clarity took me to Cambodia, where I met and mastered the art of perspective and indirectly finding growth points in a way that spoke to my being rather than to my mind. That sparked a 3 month journey into the farthest reaches of myself. I realized I had a lot of unlearning and self acceptance to do. The years of trying to be the best that I could be created constructs in my self identity. My striving wasn't as healthy as I thought. By discarding traits that seemed ugly or hindering, I was also rejecting sides of myself that were quite wonderful. They were two sides of the coin, and equally, they were part of my true nature. When we discard any part of ourselves, we are throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Often, our greatest strengths are our greatest weaknesses, and vice versa. When we reject or deny parts of ourselves, we end up feeling hollow, lost, and detached. When we take them out of the trash and work with them through compassion, gentleness, honesty, and non judgment, we can shine a light on these shadows and see them for what they are. Incredibly, my perceived weaknesses vanished as I peeled the layers further and further back to explore the past experiences that accompanied them. Accepting the shadows enough to bring them into the daylight was actually all it took for them to dissipate. Their power dissolved, and I could see them for what they were, or rather were not. Paradoxically, self love is a catalyst for transformation. Alchemizing painful triggers is an opportunity for awareness that helps us reclaim more of ourselves. As the dense spaces begin to evaporate, we can be filled with more light, more love, and we create an upward healing spiral. I have come to learn that shadow work and self love are practices to implement on a day to day basis. When we merge this awareness with moment to moment consciousness, densities don't even have a chance to form. We can we can then live and love even bigger. And this is true freedom, self-empowerment, and where authentic love and light can radiate. A true light bringer shines light in all the corners so shadows can be acknowledged and released. Take a look at any unconscious patterns that may be running you. Are there elements of yourself you need to take out of the trash, dust off, and reabsorb? Shadows can be painful or tender to the touch. Sensitivity in an area can be a trigger that shows us where we might want to spring clean some of our darker, forgotten, ignored, or hidden corners. Accepting our shadow is the first stage in restoring ourselves to wholeness, in self love. Peel back the layers, pardon me, peel back the layers where there is shame, guilt, or fear and bring them into the daylight. Under a loving and compassionate light, they will resolve and reassimilate so you can re-engage with your superpowers. Holy hell. Wow, I'm dying today. It must be dry in here. So you can re-engage with your superpowers. And that's like, it couldn't be more on point. These triggers, and yes, kindness can be a trigger. Receiving can be a trigger because if you've given, 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 and never received, these are all trigger points. And the more we learn and understand them, the easier it is to reintegrate them, right? Because there's nothing wrong with being a giver. There's nothing wrong with loving people and being compassionate and kind and wanting to always give. But it's wrong if you can't ever receive. If you don't take that time to receive, you're going to give, and then there's nothing ever filling your cup. But when you start filling your own cup, you don't have to worry about where you're receiving it from. You fill your own cup, you show up, you give when you can give from an overflow. It doesn't hinder you. And it takes time and it takes practice. And the receiving part of it, everyone wants to manifest $1 million. They want to manifest their dream job. They want to manifest their creations and this and that. But they don't know how to receive. If you don't know how to receive and you can't receive from yourself and receive from others and receive to a place where you're not going to hinder yourself or react or do something crazy, uh, that manifestation of $1 million that's sitting up in the world out there somewhere, you're never going to be able to receive it because you can't even receive a compliment. You can't even receive a gift of knowledge or wisdom that somebody's trying to share with you. And doesn't mean we have to receive and keep everything. You learn discernment. You learn what's worth keeping. You learn what's worth letting go of, and so on and so forth. But when you do it, you do that through a process of discernment, of understanding, of going through the question and answer, and trusting your answers because you're receiving those answers. You're receiving them from your highest best self, and that's what's most important. Can I have one angel number on this message today? Anything confirming, adding to, explaining. 4 of them. Blessing in disguise. Obstacles, resilience, strength, character building, experience, and transformation. Challenges may lie ahead, but you have the strength to overcome them. If you felt lost, know that the winds of change are now blowing in your favor. Though, though some things may fall apart, you're building the foundation for something better. Stay strong and keep moving forward, right? No matter what, everything that happens is a blessing in disguise. You may not always know the answer or know or understand why, but I promise you, no matter what happens, there's a silver lining. And when you can get to a space where and sometimes it takes a moment, and sometimes you have to give yourself the space to validate. Yeah, this made me feel uncomfortable. Yeah, this hurt my feelings. Yeah, this did this. Yeah, this did that. But you gave yourself the space to feel it so you can process it and let it go. And that's the really, really important part. Oh, I'm pushing my luck. I've been live this whole time. That's okay. It's a long live. I'm gonna have to cut it down. And this is one affirmation. My greatest experience of freedom comes when I let go of what others think of me. We don't please anyone but ourselves first. When we start with ourselves, uh, we give from a full cup. And when you give from a full cup, when you receive, your cup never empties, right? Your cup doesn't drain because you're already giving from overflow. So it's just overflowing, overflowing, overflowing. And when you receive, what does it do? It adds to the overflow. You're not taking from you. You're filling that love. You're showing up. You're doing all the things, and when it overflows, you're giving from that overflow. But when you receive, whether it's from other people, information, wisdom, from spirit, remember, receiving is receiving. If you can't receive from one way, you can't receive from any of the others. You have to learn to receive. um, and what happens is that cycle, that constant flowing, that because energy and movement, right? So you just keep going, right? You give, receive, give, receive, and you're doing it from an overflowing cup. You never hinder yourself. You never hurt yourself. Yes, it takes time to get there. And when life and something happens and that cup, drops down a couple drops, that cycle of receiving doesn't ever let it go under because that receiving comes in and fills it up again. It fills it up. Anything that's lacking, it's always filled up because you put yourself first, you showed up, you do the lesson, you do the talking, you do the working it out. You ask those hard questions. You show up. You give yourself compassion in those times. You take these tools and you put them to use. You give yourself grace when life. Like it's just what it is. And the more you learn it, the more you get used to it, the easier it becomes. The more of an overflow everything is, and it feels good and it's beautiful. And it takes time. It takes practice. You're not going to be amazing at it immediately, but each time it gets lighter and easier and more empowering. And when it becomes more empowering, what happens? You become more confident. And when you become more confident, what happens? You do it more. It just is what it is. And that's a cycle that I want to get behind, uplifting, helping, empowering, showing others how amazing they are, supporting wherever you can. Like, that's something that I will always want to get behind. And I think just about anybody that's aligned with me at this point, especially on here, I'm pretty sure they're okay with getting behind something like that too. So it's a pretty good thing to get behind. Uh, and I hope even if I help just a little bit along the way, even if one little thing sinks in, I know it will. And when it does, you'll come back. And when you come back, I want to hear about it because there's more. You can go watch all the other videos. There's lots more. There's always going to be something there, a little nugget that is going to help you in a tough time. Um, and when if you need more direct help or one-on-one or even my group ones, I have a free workshop coming up. When this actually posts, it'll be in the description. Um, the first one will be April 16th. So if you want, go on there. There's lots of ways you can decide if you want to work with me or not. If not, you can always go through the videos. There's always lots of stuff. I don't gatekeep. I want to share, and I want to help you use it in everyday life because learning how to apply it in situations is just as important as just knowing the tool. If you have the tool but you don't know what to do with it, then what's the sense in having it, right? So. Um, it takes both, right? Knowing, having the tool, and then the ability to apply it in life. So uh, that's what I'm a master at, and that's what I would love to help people along the way. So if you're interested, it will be in my description, and I will be back on. I want to say today, but it might not be till tomorrow. We'll see how the day goes with my kiddo. But I will be on again. The next one will be the Fire Becomes Creation, which is episode 6, I believe. There's still a few more to go, but they will all be done before April. And then I have whole new content coming out. Not all new, but it's all goes into the business side of things and lots of more learning curves and all kinds of good stuff. So I love you guys. Thank you for showing up. I have to get my butt in gear. 1:28. Yeah, I gotta go get my kid. I have to leave at 1:38. Hold on. Okay, I love you guys. Have a good day. I gotta go. Hello. Sorry. Prank call, I guess. All right, I gotta go. I love you guys. I'm sorry. I gotta get my kiddo.